And we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this rather special game today on this little channel. Oh, my background's doing strange things on the video. I'm going to be running some Vaesen. This game has finally happened. I don't see if yes, it is actually working. Yep. I'm going to be running some Vaesen. This game has been in the works for a very long time, not just with the wonderful people and players that I've got here. This game was meant to be run in January or February, I can't remember. Whenever Virtual HorrorCon was, Tom, you can remind me of that. It was meant to be run then, but it hasn't. But I've actually managed to get a really good cast for this. I've got some very special guests today. As you notice, if you saw any of the promos, one of them is not here, unfortunately, due to COVID. But we decided to carry on, and I've got an extra player. I've got Tom to join us today. So we'll go around and just introduce everybody and who you're playing. So we are playing Vaesen. It's a folk horror game. It's not going to be a full horror game like we usually do. There's not going to be lots of blood and nastiness and Fiona running around making everybody motivational posters or anything. But it is a horror game, but it's light-hearted today. So we'll go around. I want everybody to introduce yourself, who you are, and tell us what character you'll be playing in this Scottish version of Vaesen. And we'll start with Tom, because that's where you are on the screen. We'll go in a circle like that, as you see on the Twitch screen, not on the Zoom call. The Zoom call's a bit weird. So, Tom, who are you and who are you playing?
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm a little bit starstruck because of all the wonderful people I'm going to play with. I am a mere bodiless voice from the void, and I find myself, since I know David, a lot more on the player's seat, which is a nice change of pace. And I'm just a storytelling guy from Germany, which you might notice by me butchering the beautiful English language. And I am going to play in this game of Vaesen a longtime member of the secret society. I am Algot Frisk, and I'm from Uppsala, where the society is originally seated. And I am the steward, the butler there, and I made a trip to Scotland to visit an old friend of mine who is just like me, trying to keep up the candles burning and keep the society alive, which is pretty hard. And yeah, I am here to do her a favor.
The favor is fail all your dice rolls, yeah?
Yes, that is my specialty.
My specialty as well, so don't worry. You're in good company, Tom, as always. We have the best dice rolls, me and Tom. We are super good at rolling dice. Cool. So, yes, as we say, we have super special star-studded guests playing today. I'm not sure. They're looking at me a little bit strange, going, star-studded? No, we're not. It's like, yes, you are. Your podcasts have, like, I think one episode of your podcast has like more downloads than my entire podcast series does. So, we have down in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the fabulous Icy Sedgwick has joined us. So, do you want to introduce yourself and say a little bit about your character that you can remember?
Well, as you've just said, I'm Icy from Fabulous Folklore with Icy. I've never played this before, so it could go horribly wrong or it could be genius. Who knows? So that's something to stick around for. I'm playing a private detective, which explains the very fetching hat. And any excuse for a hat is good in my book. And that's as much as I can remember.
Yeah, it's a very nice hat. We were talking about hat envy earlier, so I'm trying to. It's just not working. I'm sorry. If anybody watched Rural Gothic, Icy wanted me to do my tash as one of those handlebar things. So you'll be fine as well. Whether it's a disaster or goes greatly, it will be fine, because when it's a disaster, it's even better. Games which go wrong generally are better than games that go correct. So at least I find it. And our final player for this evening is James Shakeshaft, who I can't believe he actually said yes to this when I asked him. It's like, just kind of like put it out there on a whim. Do you want to play some games? He's like, yes, cool. And here he is. So he said yes.
Yes, I would.
And so here, James, do you want to introduce yourself and
yes.
if you can remember anything about your character?
My real life character or my in-game character? Either one, to be honest.
Either or both.
Hello, I'm James Shakeshaft from the Loremenpod podcast, which is a sort of a funny podcast about folklore and bits and bobs. And I've never played an RPG game. I don't even know if that's the right term. And I'm very excited to. I am a hunter. I've got a small, yappy, annoying dog. This is in-game now. Called Lord Oro, and I just sort of do. I'm handy. I've got good aim. I will clear your factories of any sort of nasty things you might have in there. Sort of like a sort of supernatural pest control, really.
We have a question. Is the dog ginger?
It is ginger and white, and it has a sort of a bulging eye and a tongue that hangs out its mouth all the time, looking like it's perpetually eating a piece of ham.
I wonder if Alistair is watching this and...
Oh, it's not based on Alistair. It's based on a real life dog.
Okay.
Who's sadly no longer with us
Oh.
due to ham-related incidents.
Oh dear.
No, just this was about 20 years ago. I knew this dog. It'd be weird if it was still alive.
Well, considering you just said it was no longer with us, and then it was still with us, then we'd have
Zombie
like
dog.
the immortal cat.
It'd be a textbook zombie dog. Yes, yeah, or immortal cat.
Yeah, cool. Okay. So a few things about this game and about things that are going on today. So one of the things that I'm doing, if anybody actually listens to my podcast, I am running the London Marathon, and so I am trying to raise money for a charity called NOMAN is an Island, and they are a charity who want to stop HPV. They call it the Race to End HPV, and so I am raising money to try and stop HPV, which is a cause of cancer. If we have a vaccine for it, and if we get this vaccine out, it can stop 5% of cancers caused worldwide. So, if you check in the chat, people, I will put a link up to the charity so you can have a look for it, and a donation page if you want to throw a cup of coffee's worth of money at me. It's a really good charity run by a friend of mine, and they do some really good work because let's go kick cancer in the ass, basically. Also, during this game at some point, I've not decided when during this game, I'm going to ask a question, and there's going to be a competition. I'm going to ask a question which will allow you, listeners, to win a physical copy of the game, Vaesen, plus the supplement book, A Wicked Secret. And I also have 3 PDF copies of the game to give away. Free League, who make the game, have been kind enough to donate these to us, so we can give them away during this game. I know not everyone's going to be able to watch it live, so we'll run the competition for a week. This will go up on YouTube, and you can email me, and I'll put all the information in the chat, and I'll explain it when the question comes up and stuff. So, yeah, you can win a copy of the game. It's a very nice book. It's a very pretty book. It's here. It's got a man with a tash on the. You can't really see it because of my backdrop. But yeah, cool. Right, let's get on with the game. So I think that's all of it. There's no content warning on this one, unlike my other games where we go really weird. This one should, in theory, be calm and, well, say calm. It should be a less bloody, I hope. So, let us begin. Those of you who know Vaesen know that it is usually based in Scandinavia, in Uppsala in Sweden. I have created a new setting for this game. We are actually going to go to Scotland because we're all English and Scottish folklore is easier for us to know more about than Scandic folklore. And so the society, which is the main thing in the Scandic version, we have created one. I have created one here in Edinburgh. I've called it's the Edinburgh Society. I won't go into the background of it. I'm going to probably write this up and publish it onto the public domain at some point so you can see it. But there is an old lady called Eileen who works in the Edinburgh Society. She's the keeper of the society. She's the only member left in Scotland. And she recently received a letter. And I'll read the letter. And this is where we begin. It's a letter from a priest. To whom it may concern, I write to you with grave concerns. I have heard of your special skills in matters such as these. though I feel worried, and my hand shakes as I write this letter, for I fear the wrath of the Almighty at what am I about to blaspheme. I fear my village is under some sort of curse, that we have done something and the devil has come to haunt us, one of his beasts of the sea. I do not say these words lightly, but I am not of strong mind or disposition to deal with forces such as these. We are losing our livelihoods. The boats return empty, if they return at all. I forget myself. Let me introduce myself. I am Reverend Philip Ballantyne from Portmahomack in Tarbert Parish on the Moray Firth, and I beseech your most guided and gifted help. I am at a loss as to why we have fallen under such a curse, but the folk talk of things best not remembered, old tales of old ways. The fishermen, some have begun casting runes again for fortune and guidance. They are turning away from the Lord. They talk of the fairy folk and that they are to come. This hasn't been edited, I've just realised. And that they are come to hurt us for forgetting our ways. This is blasphemy and hurts me to my very core. Please, come and help. I fear for Finn and his new bride. Many seem to be blaming her for as an evil fae who has cursed the village. This cannot be so. Some call her a mermaid. They don't exist, do they? Your servant in God always, Reverend Philip Ballantyne. And so, the society in Edinburgh has received this missive from the priest. Now, you wonderful three here have been called by the society, by Eileen, to come together and to go investigate this. Usually in this game we would all meet in Edinburgh and then we'd travel up and we'd do all kind of prep and stuff like that. But as we kind of have limited time this evening, we're going to skip that bit. So we're just going to go straight to Portmahomack. I'm going to say this name wrong so many times. It is a real village in Scotland. It is Portmahomack. James can probably do it better because he can actually do a Scottish accent. So I'm just going to butcher it all the time.
I could do it like Mrs. Doubtfire would say it. Portmahomack. I think that was Irish. That was Terry Wogan.
Ooh. Yeah, from the grave there. Okay. So, obviously, James and Icy, you are in England and you've been called up there. Tom, why is Algot? Why has he come and why is he in England?
Well, the few people I was able to recruit for Uppsala are probably on a mission. I sent them away a few weeks ago. I haven't seen them, and it was my task to take care of the castle we are situated in. And during the last visit in our home base, the investigators found an old library I totally forgot about. It was a mess. I tried to hide it, and some of the books were missing, and there were some books from Scotland I needed to give away back years ago. And since they are gone, I snuck away from Uppsala, took all the books that belong to Scotland and put them in a bag and went for a visit to my dear friend Eileen. And as I arrived, I was just in time there for the letter.
Cool. So you absconded, basically. You stole some books and ran.
I brought them back to their original owner, whom I haven't given them back for a decade by this point.
Okay, so you originally stole the books. He's a thief. Got a thief here.
I borrowed them.
Cool. So, what we'll do, you received this letter. Eileen has all called you together, and she's put you on a train We are in like the 1860s. And so there is a train line from Edinburgh. It goes most of the way up to Portmahomack. And then you'll have to catch a carriage from the town, which is just down the road from it. We're on the Moray Firth, and this is right at the very tip of the Moray Firth. And so you travel up in the train. And this being Scotland, the weather's not the best. It's like Manchester but worse. It's always wet, but this time it's really wet. It's really throwing it down. It's dark outside. You don't really get much of a view of the nice mountains as you're going through. When you get to the station at the end of the line and you get into the carriage, the wheels have got inches thick of mud on them, wet mud. The horses are steaming in the rain. They don't look particularly happy to be hauling you through this weather. And the carriage takes you through across this rugged coastline. It's not you're not up on big cliffs or anything, but it's quite rugged and it kind of weaves and round, and you end up in this small little village. And one of the first things that hits you as you kind of come to this village is the smell. This is Victorian England, and there's usually a smell around. It's usually not a particularly pleasant smell, but this one's something special. It's not something you're generally used to. This village is well known in the area for canning fish, and it's just a lot of very rotten smelling fish around, basically. It's not particularly pleasant. Even in the storm that is blowing, you can pick up the wafts of how strong the canning factories are, or canning sheds, I should say. It's not a big village. And you come in, and there you see one of the churches on top of just outside the hill as you kind of come in, and in the centre you see another church as you come in. You pass a pub on the way, and there's lots of kind of small, quaint little cottages. And out to the left-hand side, that's the way, yes, left, I know my directions, is the sea. It's quite rough and churny, and you see some of the boats tied up and things. The pub looked a little bit sparse as it went past, and the carriage drops you off in the middle of the town, in the middle of the little village, in a little open square. And the driver just nods at you, nods his hat. He's got a big proper trilby hat on, protecting him from the rain, leather coat. Says, "Good day to you." Turns his horse and carriage round and heads back, and leaves you out in the open, in the pouring rain, in this storm. He's not really pointed anything out to you. He doesn't really tell you anything. He's just left you there in the middle of the village. And it's about 5 o'clock in the evening now. So, how do you feel about just being abandoned in this village, soaking wet? All your bags are just kind of dropped on the floor by your feet. How do you feel about this? We'll start with Algot. How are you feeling about being wet?
Well, this is horrible. And I'm immediately feeling very sorry that I didn't take like 10 handkerchiefs with me to offer them to my dear companions, because an investigator needs to be healthy to do his job. So I'm feeling very bad, and the smell is just the worst. And I hope I didn't pack anything soft that might get soggy into the bottom of the bags, which are now in the drainage. And so I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry, dear gentlepersons. I will just let me pick this up, and I try to get to your luggage and take it all up, and I should find a fitting accommodation.
How are James and Icy feeling now, just being abandoned in this small village in the arse end of Scotland, in the rain and the wet and misery and this horrible smell? There's probably like fish guts running down the streets as well from the canning factory. How do you feel?
Pub?
Oh,
I think we should go to the pub. What was it called? What was it called? The Happy Pilchard? Cocky Dolphin?
I think we'll go with a happy pilchard.
Okay.
It doesn't
Should we
look very
get-
happy though. It's quite
it's
down.
gutted, quite literally and figuratively. Should we get in the pub? What do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm up for that. I mean, this is not the worst scenario I've ever been in.
No. But at least we could be in a pub. What do you think? Do you know the town? Sorry, I've got a terrible memory for names. I'm Norton Chipperfield.
Norton. I would really like to write this down, but I'm kind of packed.
Let's get in there looking less happy pilchard. Out of the rain.
The drowned pilchard.
How do you drown a pilchard?
It takes some skill, but so you go off to the pub. It's maybe a 5-minute walk up the road. It's not that far. The rain is beating down, and you get there. It's got one of the signs swinging outside of it. It's a fish. It's just like a metal fish has been stuck on a gate post.
Oh, okay then.
And it squeaks and it's swinging around in the wind. Doesn't look very happy, even though it's meant to be the happy pilchard. And you notice inside there's you can see the glow of a warm fire inside. And you open the door. There's a few people sat around. It's quite a nice, cozy little pub, shall we say. There's a big burly man stood behind the bar, spitting in a glass and cleaning it. And there's a few fishermen sat in the corner just looking out the window, muttering about the weather and the lack of fish.
It is August and we're in Scotland. There's no fringe stuff going on, is there? I can't be bothered with that.
No,
there's not like some sort of improv troupe lurking around. This looks all right. I reckon we should get a pint here, dry off a little bit, work out where we're supposed to be going in this one pilchard town.
That's a TripAdvisor review and a half, isn't it?
Sells it to everybody, that TripAdvisor review. So,
yeah.
The question is, do they sell pub snacks?
Oh yeah, it's pilchard scratchings.
I'm sure you can get little dried anchovies as well, in a bowl, like peanuts.
Anchovy moments.
Ugh.
I heard that these dried fish and seafood are very healthy. They contain a lot of important oils. I heard, but maybe we just get dry and find something nice to drink. And the kind gentleman over there, I'm pointing at the barman, will be so kind to support us with some drink.
Is it table service or do we go order at the bar? I think it's order at the bar type of place, isn't it?
As you walk in, the barman, well, the entire pub turns around and looks at you because you're not local.
Because we're fabulous.
The hat.
It happens all the time.
Yeah. The feathers drooped a little bit, so.
We're all right with dogs in here.
Is he all right with dogs? Yeah, we'll say he is all right with dogs. He does look at it and goes.
It's a assistance. Well, I'm his assistance human.
As long as you don't, I'm not going to try a Scottish accent because I will just.
No, go on.
No. I'll leave all the accents up to you, James. most of my accents generally end up being a bit of a Cockney accent. So the barman looks at you and goes, "Yeah, just don't be letting him up on any of the stools or any of the tables, especially not on the bar. We like to keep the bar clean," as he spits on it and rubs it with a dirty cloth.
Yeah.
But yeah, take yourself a table. I'll get you some drinks. Sit by the warm fire, and I'll come over and deal with you in a second.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah. He calls back to behind. Like there's a curtain behind the bar, and he just kind of sticks his head back there and goes, "Get some food on." And you can kind of, as he opens it, you can kind of glimpse in and see what you would assume is a kitchen. At least you would hope it would be a kitchen, but there are certain smells again emanating from the kitchen.
Fishy ones, I'm guessing.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of fish in this.
Are you guys all right with, are you anyone vegetarian or vegan or anything? Or are we all?
No, I didn't think. I found the menu. Here is fish and some food. It has quite the long section about bar snacks. And I show this to Icy. Here, have a look. It's there are all kinds of bar snacks. I think we just found the right place.
It's fish with fish, or fish with chips, chips and fish and chips, fish and chips.
Are the chips also fish, though?
Yes.
They're chipped fish.
They're chipped fish.
Yeah.
And at the bottom it says vegetarian option potato. One potato.
Brackets may contain fish. Just a fish in a potato, like one of those soaps that you had as a kid.
They've managed to squish the fish into the shape of a potato. Yeah. So yeah. As you are doing this, the barman comes over. He goes, "Well, I got some beer, and we got some nice scotch. It will warm you up as well. So have a beer and a scotch. And would you like any food? We've got some good fish on."
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you have any fish?
Well,
what's the catch of the day? Is it fish?
Unfortunately, we've not got a catch of the day. We've got a catch of the month. We've not been very lucky recently about the fishing.
It doesn't smell that way. What?
There's a smell.
How long?
I can't smell anything.
How long have you not been catching much fish? Or many fish?
The fishermen, they've been complaining for about a good month or two. They've not been having much luck. We occasionally get a boat come back with like 4 or 5 fish in it.
And any fishermen?
Most of the time, the fishermen come back.
Good,
most of the time.
Good lads.
We've had a few more
always.
losses than normal.
Really? Okay. Are these lads over here, I say lads, fisher folk, are they the grumpy ones?
They are very grumpy. They want to be out fishing and catching fish. They're the ones who brought in the last haul, and that was like 4 days ago. We're getting very hungry here. I've got one fish, and I can split it between the 3 of you if you want. One of you can have the head, one of you can have the body, and one of you can have the tail. It's been pickled, so it's all fine. It's not that bad.
I've
got some bread as well.
Oh, fish bread?
No.
Okay.
Maybe with fish oil though, but it's not got fish in it.
Eesh. Lovely. And this dip here, it looks like olive oil. That's fish oil too. Yeah. And this.
Oh no, the other ones that's pickled. That's the pickling oil. That's fish pickle.
Fish pickling oil. Oh Lord. Okay.
So do you want
I think
food?
I've got some mince in my bag, so I'm good for now.
Oh, we can't be having you bringing in your own food, me dear.
Even when you haven't got any.
No point.
You've got a pocket full of mints.
Never know when you might need some mint.
Does it come with added fluff?
No, they're in a packet. What kind of heathen do you take us for?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a packet of pocket mints.
Cool.
Are we here to see anyone in particular? Or are we just meant to suss out the vibe? What about this vicar? Is that who we're supposed to be seeing? What was he called? Bannatyne?
Yeah, so you were given basically two names. You've got the priest, who is Philip of Ballantyne, and the other name was Finn.
And he's the one with the new bride.
Yes.
Yes, who is rumored to be a mermaid.
It's because everything's fish around here.
Yeah, and
You'd notice.
she is new in town, and since a week there isn't any new fish. I
Right.
wonder when they did marry.
Yeah. So where was it? Excuse me, barman.
Yeah.
Did you have a wedding reception in here in the last week?
No,
I don't want to know what the buffet was. I've worked it out.
No, we did have a wedding reception. It was a couple of weeks ago, and we actually had some beef.
What with
Yeah,
fish
no,
beef?
No. This was real beef.
Like from an actual cow.
No, from a seal.
A bull seal.
Yes. Chink. Yeah. No. Yeah, there was a wedding reception. Oh, it must have been about 2 months ago. There's like 3 people here then, and that we consider that a reception.
Mm-hmm.
It was the bride, the groom, and the priest.
No. What about the groom's side? The family bride's father of the bride or anything? Was the father of the bride there? Make a speech?
Nah, they'd all gone fishing. Yeah,
Well,
thinking about it, it was around that time. Yeah, it was around that time when it all kind of went a bit wrong. Maybe it's because nobody came to the wedding.
I believe that is bad luck.
Wouldn't know. Not married myself.
No?
Nah, the fish wouldn't like it.
You're married to the job.
Married to the job. All day, every day, in the bar, slaving away behind the bar, serving the 3 pints a day that get served here. Yeah, it's a busy life. It's a busy life here.
At least this means that the fisher folk is sober.
Yeah.
Oh no,
that's
they're not
true.
sober.
Oh.
How are they drunk by 3 pints?
I serve
I
3
think-
pints, but I also serve about 50 bottles of scotch a day.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I talk about the beer because obviously you're not from around here. You're
I'm
English,
foreign.
so you don't sound like you're from this country either. So that's why I gave you the beer. Otherwise, I'll get you a bottle of scotch if you want.
I've got the sample here. It's very distinctive flavour. Was this in oak smoked barrels or? It doesn't taste like that.
It's definitely a barrel that had something in it before. It wasn't.
It did have fish in it.
It
Is
may
it a
well
fish
have
pickling
done.
barrel?
It's a fish pickling barrel.
Mm.
It's an acquired taste.
Yeah, still got a few of the scales in there, which that's how you know it's genuine, right?
Yeah. If you find a bone, you're considered lucky, and you'll end up being like rich and stuff. So
If you
always
don't
worth-
choke.
yeah,
Cool.
if you survive it, if you survive the whiskey, you're going to be made for life.
So this the wedding was the groom. Was that Finn?
Thinking about it, yeah. It was Finn and his new missus. She's a bit shy. She hides herself away. Don't see much of her. Never seen her before either. She just kind of appeared.
Very shy from the waist down.
Like most women, yeah, she's wearing skirts and covered up and things. She's not naked or anything. Why would she be naked?
Especially in this weather, that's just not going to be pleasant for anyone.
No, just cold and ugh.
It wouldn't be proper.
Mm.
Don't know what like where you lot come from, but around here, people tend to dress like in clothes and things.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm from
I've heard
Newcastle. We don't get that.
No. Shirtless.
I've heard stories. I've heard stories.
So what she doesn't flash a bit of ankle or anything like that. This bride. Could you say that you've never seen her ankle?
I could say I've never seen her ankle.
All right, guys. What else doesn't have ankles? A fish.
How would you walk though?
I don't know. That's a very good point. Some sort of slithering, hopping motion, I would guess.
Well,
like when you've gone camping and you don't want to get out your sleeping bag.
Mm.
Like that, I'm imagining it's how she gets about.
People would notice though, surely.
They're too busy looking at the fish.
Yeah.
But then maybe that's like this guy can't smell fish because he's gone nose blind. Maybe they couldn't see if she was a fish because everything.
Has been drinking that much scotch?
Well, thank you very much. I think we three will go all with the fish.
Oh, yeah, I'll have the fish.
And
medium fish.
Yeah, this sounds right. Thank you very much. If we have any further questions, we are very happy to talk again with you, kind soul. Thank you very much. And
he disappears off.
And I turn
Apparently,
around.
this whiskey is the Scottish version of tequila. Like the one.
Has it got worms in the bottle?
This one doesn't. No, it's got fish scales in the bottle, so it's the.
Got a lot of them in my teeth now. Have another though. I would take another.
Yeah, just flush them out with the second shot. I think it's a local thing. The people over there are doing this all the time. So, you are an private investigator, right? I turn around towards Icy.
I've been called that.
Wonderful. So, what do you think? Where should we go after we partook in our splendid meal? Talk to the Reverend, or maybe get to know the just married couple?
I'd quite like to meet the couple, mainly because I'm curious how she walks, but also because I just think that it could well be that she's just shy because they're all really weird. And there's a perfectly rational explanation. So I'd quite like to go and rule that out before we do anything else.
Yeah, sounds reasonable to me.
Just on a conceptual level, would a mermaid eat fish?
That'd be like cannibalism, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But then the top half and the stomach is all human.
Well, what do we know about mermaids? And is this probably the first time we're gonna roll some dice?
Ooh.
Oh.
I'm guessing Algot will know things about mermaids, having worked in the society for a while. But Icy and Norbert?
Norton Chipperfield. Pleased to meet you.
Yeah, pleased to meet you too. Won't know that much about them. So I think, yes, let's have a dice roll to see if you know anything about mermaids.
Great.
So,
I got my 6-sided dice. Could you please tell me what I do have to roll?
yeah, so for anybody who wants to know anything about mermaids, you're going to look at your character sheet. I have got Icy's up here in front of me at the moment. You're going to take the number of dice that is, let's do learning. So it's going to be your logic number. So in attributes, you've got a logic skill, and that is, for Icy, it's 5. And then we look further down in the skills on your sheet, and you have one called learning. And in here it has 2. So for Icy, you'll be rolling 5 plus 2, so 7 dice. So I know you don't have 7 dice, so roll your dice so you've totaled up, like having rolled them 7 times. And you'll be looking to get the number 6 on the dice. Just 1 6 is all you need.
So across 7 throws, basically a 6.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and for
The more, the
James,
better.
you'll be doing the same thing with your logic and
Okay.
learning.
Logic and learning. Okay, so I've got 3 and nothing.
Yeah. So
I
you'll
got
be
one
rolling
with
3
my
dice.
second dice.
If you do get a 6 very, very quickly on it, keep rolling, because if you get more 6s, you might know more.
I've got another one.
Cool.
I'd never go to Vegas because this wouldn't happen.
You can take the luck that me and Tom don't have when we roll dice. So. But if
Yeah, I
you do
only got 2.
2 6s.
Okay, I'm gonna roll my 3 die. This is no 6s.
No 6s. Oh no. I'm going to write down names because I keep wanting to call you Norbert.
Norton,
Yeah.
Chipperfield. Pleased to meet you.
So we have Norton. I may call you
I need
Graham
a
at some
name
point.
as well.
You can call yourself whatever you like. You can stay as Icy, or you can become somebody else.
Oh, can I have another name then?
Yeah.
I want to be Violet Giggleswick.
Oh, nice.
Do I
Violent.
get a 5 out of 5 for naming on that one?
That's pretty high scoring on the name, and definitely.
Yeah. I was wondering whether at the end of this we go through and score it, but then I was kind of thinking about what the story is, and I'm just thinking I'm just going to fail at every one of those. It's like I've got very boring names. We won't talk about supernatural until the end. There may or may not be supernatural. We'll see. Although we have got a woman who might or might not be a mermaid, and some really disgusting fish.
Hmm.
So, Violet might know stuff. Norton doesn't. Does Algot know anything about mermaids?
Indeed, he does.
Cool.
We talked about too much about my bad luck on dice road, so I got 3 6s.
Wow. How many dice were you rolling?
5.
That's not bad. Right. What do we know about werewolves? I opened up on the werewolf page. Bear that in mind for later, people. Where's the mermaid page? M becomes before W in the alphabet. That'll be why.
After, yeah.
So, even though this is Vaesen, it is a Scandic book. Mermaids are worldwide. They do exist in all other cultures. So there is actually a mermaid in this book. She's not a very happy-looking mermaid. She looks like she's got a dragon tail. And I'm just going to read a little bit of this out to you as to kind of what a mermaid is in here. So obviously you know what a mermaid is in general. It's a lady with a fish tail. But what on top of that, Violet and Algot know a little bit more than this. They know that they have certain magical powers, and that they can be defeated in certain ways. So if they are causing mischief, they are able to be defeated in certain ways. Generally, they are quite in this game, not in general folklore. So you people who know a lot about folklore, don't get angry about this. It's a game. It's a fantasy game based upon folklore. So generally, this game is about angry Vaesen, but we'll see. So the magical powers that these mermaids can have, they are able to enchant people, a bit like a siren. They are able to curse people as well. So if you annoy them, they will curse you. And they also have a little bit of magic known as trollcraft, which is kind of everyday spells and attacking magic and nasty stuff. They do not like metal. as well. So if you kind of poke them with a metal rod, it hurts them and is not particularly pleasant for them, and they will run away from it. What else do we want to know? Well, this is a piece of knowledge that will actually fit with your current ideas. Once the mermaid becomes enamored with a human, she will not stop pushing her love interest until he gets married in a church and wears a ring on his finger. They are obsessed. Once they become interested in a person, they become obsessed and must marry them. And you're aware that they're magical beings and they don't like metal. And that is the information that you know.
A thought occurs to me then. Does she wear a wedding ring?
Yeah, let's find out if this one in particular, she mustn't. She can't wear a wedding ring unless it's made out of wood or something, or one of them new tattoo ones that the people get.
This is a pretty good idea.
It's a good lead detective. I like it.
Brilliant.
Should we go see them?
Yeah.
Check her out. See if she moves like someone in a sleeping bag and is wearing a ring.
Boing, 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 boing.
Yeah. It just I picked up this idea from one of our investigators, and I pick up a tiny book and I write down, look for wedding ring and sleeping bag walk. Great, wonderful stuff. And then I pocket it in.
So we need to find where they live. I guess the barman knows. Should we ask the barman?
Yes.
Is anyone else going to finish their fish?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Shall I call him over, get the bill?
Yeah. I'll be right over. Comes over and goes, guess you'll be wanting to stay the night then? Not going to be travelling around in like this weather, or unless you want to sleep on the streets or under a boat.
Are there any other options out of interest in town? Have you got room for the night?
I've got rooms. They've got beds. They're clean.
Fish beds. Okay. Is my dog welcome?
Your dog is more than welcome. He can sit by the fire and keep himself warm. I'll give him all the scraps he wants.
Fish. Yeah. Okay. I think he'll be all right, actually. Thanks.
Oh.
Do you know where's Finn live?
Finn, where's he live? Where does he live? I don't actually know.
Somewhere
I
coastal?
do know he's out on the boats at the moment. He's gone out at the moment, but I think he lives somewhere north of the town. Kind of, if you head out towards the lighthouse, I think you'll run into. It's one of those houses up there. It'll be well lit because the lighthouse is always going now. It's like this massive.
It'll be well lit once a minute.
And this is why we have a comedian in the show.
Norton, you can't always show them that you are from the big city.
My big city ways.
Yeah. You drive away the simple townspeople, yes.
They seem he seems very protective over the lighthouse. They're very protective over it. It's very new, and it's like it's the tallest lighthouse in the UK at the time. So they're like, it's a big landmark for us. Don't take the piss out of our lighthouse.
I'm not taking
It's a bit phallic.
It's a bit phallic, yeah.
Anything to distract from the fish.
And after we left the pub in direction of the lighthouse, I'm saying, well, I think I know why they want to keep the dog. The pub could smell like wet dog instead of old fish. So
Change is as good as the rest, I suppose.
It's a smorgasbord of smells, really, isn't it?
I like these Umbrellas they've lent us, though. They're novelty fish-shaped umbrellas. It's neat. They're made of actual fish.
Well, I mean, they're waterproof, so it's genius, really.
It works.
Just stitch a few fish together, stick them on some sticks.
Get a puffer fish. Or a manta ray.
It's got its own stick as well, hasn't it? The manta ray. You saw bend its tail.
I have to say, it is a pretty strange place. I think you can feel the curse everywhere, right? Like they're quite obsessed with the fish and the smell.
They're going to really notice when, if they're getting a lack of fish, that's going to hit them hard.
Yeah. We should probably solve this case fast before the local populace goes array because of missing fish. This could be otherwise known as the Victorian fish crisis.
Well known within history, the Great Victorian Fish Crisis.
We need to avert it.
Yes.
The lesser known of the famines of the...
And let's be honest, I mean, the British in general are obsessed with fishing quotas, so, we need to get this sorted for them.
Yes.
Who knows what the repercussions could be?
No, it's not. It's not like anybody put any thought and discussion behind it at all and laid it all out in front of everybody. Yes.
Right. Well, here's the lighthouse.
Yeah, no, the lighthouse is like 5 miles away.
Okay.
But it's really close.
But you'd be able to see it on the way there.
You'd be able to see it because it's a big. I think it's something like 45 meters tall or something. It's really big.
Jeez.
It's now, I think, the second largest lighthouse in the UK. So it is actually a massively prominent lighthouse. But as you are walking down out of the town, you do see the lighthouse. It is quite clear and it's quite bright. It's a modern lighthouse. It has an electric light in it. It's fancy. But you also notice as it spins around, you notice to the right, in the distance to the right, you notice it picks up this dark shape on the horizon of this ruin castle that just kind of lingers and flashes on the horizon as the light skims across it, kind of giving a little bit of an eerie feeling as you leave the village into the fields around you. All you can see every now and then is this flash of a dark castle. And then in front of you there are two houses. One has some lights on, the other one doesn't. They're quite sturdily built, these houses. They're brick houses with I want to say wattle and daub on the front of them as well. So they're quite well stuck together. Though they do look a little bit dilapidated by the wind and the rain that gets beaten on them by the weather that is going on. As I say, one of them has lights on, the other one doesn't. You got one on the left and you got one on the right.
Well, should we go to the one where someone's in? Or should we skulk around the one, have a peek in the window?
Part of me thinking it's probably more likely the one where there's no one in, or looks like there's no one in, because if she already doesn't like people, she might be like hiding. Like when it's Halloween and you don't want to do a trick or treat.
It's brilliant. And I take out my notebook again and write down, look into window for seeing people who are hiding. Great. I'm really getting this. I didn't tell you, but this is actually my first case.
Oh. Okay. We got a rookie. All right. Fine.
A rookie who is how old?
53.
53 and you've never been in the field. You're a
Oh,
pencil pusher, I'll get.
The thing is, the field comes to the castle quite often.
The field, well.
We just had a seance.
To our neck in fish guts.
fish are not
proverbially.
on the field.
I
And
don't
I
know, from the smell of it, they have been in this field.
So maybe we get back to the sulking business.
Should we have a peek in the window then?
Yeah.
Who's tallest? Because I'm going to hazard a guess I'm probably the shortest one and might not be able to see through the window.
The windows are quite low. These are proper
Okay.
old houses, so the windows are quite low. The houses are not very big. They're all one story. So, yes. So you're gonna peep through some windows.
Yeah, let's have a little nose.
Let's have a little nosy. Sorry, I was doing something then. Which one are you looking at?
The no lights on.
No lights on. Okay, so we're gonna do some more dice rolling. We're gonna see how stealthy you are. I think.
Yeah, surely.
Are you able to sneak around? So stealth is your precision plus stealth. So your precision is the top one, and yeah, I'm guessing the hunter is probably going to be quite good at sneaking around. I'm not too sure about a butler.
He totally isn't. I'm standing on the street and waiting for stuff to happen.
Are you a butler?
Yes, I am the butler of Casa Güllenkreuz.
Surely a butler should be, really good. They just they're there. They know when you're there. Are you a bad butler? Anyway, look, I'm going to go have a look at this house.
These people's butler. I'm serving at a castle.
What number do I have to get?
You just have to roll a 6.
Oh, that's all. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it might be like a different one. Just for...
No, so the one of the reasons why I love Vaesen is because it's partly folklore. It's mostly folklore, and folklore is amazing, and we love folklore. But the system that they use and Free League use in Vaesen and a lot of their other games, so James, you've expressed an interest in Alien as well, they use the same system. There's a little bit more into it in Alien because you can get stressed and panic and, oh my god, an alien's going to eat me. But it's basically you get a bunch of dice, you roll them all, and you look for a 6. There's no maths involved other than going, I've got that number and that number, add them together. That's the number of dice I roll. That's it.
I got 2 6s.
Ooh.
Boom.
It's the hat. It just makes you so stealthy.
No 6s.
So our stealthy hunter is not a stealthy hunter.
It's the fish smell that's put me off.
To be fair, I'd be a fairly bad private detective if I wasn't particularly stealthy.
It's true. Following people through the streets is kind of one of the core tenets and hiding from people. So yeah. And
Appearing through like holes in newspapers.
Yeah. Textbook.
Oh. Do you have a specific painting that you carry around with you as well, where you can just kind of well up against a wall, stick your head through the painting? So, Algot, did you sneak?
No, I'm actually on the street looking around, trying to see if anybody takes notice of my friends or colleagues, and I'm just there.
You're on lookout.
Yes.
Look out! Every now and then you suddenly glare brightly in as the lighthouse just shines on you, and just like deer in the headlights kind of look every now and then. Woo, woo. So our private detective Violet has managed to sneak around the house, and nobody has seen Violet. Unfortunately, Norton, as you go up to the house, it's wet, it's a bit miserable, it's not particularly nice. You don't notice a stone sticking out of the ground, and you stub your foot on it and fall face first into the mud with a bit of a yelp. Usually with this, there are ways to kind of like take damage in this game, but it's more of a story-based kind of damage system, and just failing a dice roll is not going to cause you to get damaged. You can take, it's called a condition. if you are desperate to kind of pass a dice roll, like a really important point in the game where you really need to pass a dice roll, you can, what we call, take a condition and re-roll the dice to try and pass it. So you can become, the conditions are named, you can become exhausted or something like that, and it'll fit.
Right.
You'll see them on the character sheet. But at the moment, sneaking around, falling flat face first into the mud, I think kind of is a bit more entertaining. So, as you just watch Violet kind of tippy-toe around the house, peeking through the windows. And this house, you get up to it and you look through the windows, and the windows are unfortunately all shuttered. You can't actually see through them. But it sounds very, very quiet inside. It sounds like maybe nobody is in there and there's no kind of noise that you can hear, that you could possibly hear over the sound of the rain and wind and stuff. But it certainly seems very, very quiet.
Violet, is there anything that looks like a water slide that comes out the side of the house into the sea? Because that would be, to my mind, that would be a dead giveaway of mermaid.
See, I was thinking more like Splash with Daryl Hannah, where she's in like the bath and pouring salt in. So I'm thinking she could be sitting in the tub in front of the fire and we wouldn't know. But she's obviously not splashing around because I can't hear anything.
Oh, should we go knock on next door then?
Might be an idea.
Yeah. Should we just go straight up to the door? Do we want to sneaky? Are they got shutters?
As you are having this conversation, because Norton fell over and made a splash and a bit of a yelp, the shutters on the opposite house kind of peek open, and a little dark face appears. You can't see because the light is behind them, shining out, so you can't actually see the face, but you see someone take a peek out, look around, and then quickly shut again.
Ooh.
So there's definitely somebody there.
Trying to knock on, Elder? Keeping a lookout so well?
I don't have a knuckle on me.
He has no knuckles.
No, I left them at the castle.
Okay.
How do your fingers work then?
They're just
these
sausages.
Oh, English isn't my first language.
I said, yeah. Sorry, I used slang. I said, will you knock on?
Oh, yes.
I'll keep watch this time. Bravely.
I walk over to the door, straighten up, put on my Monterey umbrella,
Hold it
and
down.
knock on the door.
Ding, 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 ding. You hear shuffling behind the door.
Like someone in a sleeping bag?
It certainly sounds that way. It sounds like there's somebody in. It's the shuffling of skirts and sleeping bags and things moving over a stone floor, and a small timid voice kind of comes through the door. Who is it? Who are you?
Good evening, fine person. My name is Falgut. I am a delivery man. I have an important delivery. Is a man called Finn living here?
Somebody's been reading the chat. Yeah. Finn lives here, but he's out fishing, so you'll have to come back another time.
I just have to give this important delivery. You would be fine if you could sign just something for me.
Yes.
I'm illiterate.
That's all right.
Just a
Nobody reads it. It's just they need to see that somebody put some signs below down on the paper. Just please open the door.
Just a thumbprint, left-hand thumbprint.
Yeah, a thumbprint would also work.
Only on the left hand.
I'm not sure I could. Finn, I don't think he would like me taking his packages. He's a strong man.
We could just put it down here if that's all right. I can put it outside of the door. I just need a signature or something like this. Please, it's raining. I'm getting wet.
Okay, I'm gonna make you roll.
Oh no! Please don't.
Manipulation, please, Tom.
Yeah.
Manipulation. Empathy.
It is one success.
Oh, you succeed at getting her through, getting through to her. She kind of eventually caves. Oh, I do feel sorry for you out in this weather. Oh, I wish to be back. Sorry, no, I pardon the language. I will. Yes. She opens the door, and in front of you is this quite small, timid-looking girl. Hair's tied up in a bun. She's wearing like a brown Hessian-looking dress, a little bit of a white an apron on, like she's maybe been baking bread or something. And she goes, "Oh, where do you want me to sign?" And her hands come out.
I pick out my notebook, and then I open it and I notice, oh, it's raining. I hope you don't mind if you just took a step back and I could just get beneath the roof or into the entrance so it wouldn't get all wet by the rain.
I shouldn't be letting strange men into the house.
It's just, okay, it's fine. I would just reach into the doorway with this paper so you can sign it. Or you could just put your thumbprint of your left hand onto this page over here. Just give me a second. I should have, it's all gone. But, I'm out of ink, but I do have this giant lump of butter on me.
Fish butter?
No. I'm sorry, it's a joke from my original Vaesen campaign. And if somebody of them would be watching this, it would be hilarious to them. So,
Yes, Tom.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay, yeah, and she goes out and she bring both her hands go out. She takes the notepad in her left hand, and she takes the writing implement in the other. And she's quite clearly wearing a wedding ring. And it glitters and glints in the firelight and the light of the lighthouse, as if metallic.
Okay. As we're doing a little dance with the paper because, oh no, it's the wrong page, and I'm just keeping her engaged with paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty bad at paperwork, actually, which is kind of a problem with the castle, but that's all right. So I know how to get her engaged and distracted, and I hope my colleagues are kind of looking around the corner and also getting a glimpse of her, and maybe check if there's anything strange about her that I wouldn't see.
Yeah, let's have I'll have a peek.
I'll say just for ease, she quite clearly has feet. Her petticoats don't quite go to the ground, and you can see two slippered feet underneath. The shuffling appears to have just been the enormous amount of petticoats that she's wearing. It's like a proper many layers. It's like an onion of petticoats. You peel the layers back.
So you just said you aren't from around here. How, between you and me, how are you able to stay with the, ambience?
Oh, I thought that was like residence visa thing. Have you applied for permanent residence?
I'm married. I get residency through my marriage.
Fair enough.
Oh, is that why you married him?
Border Patrol with
I-
Violet Giggleswick.
I decline to answer that question until my lawyer is present. So what was the original question?
Where's Finn? Oh, sorry, no. What was the question?
How you're able to stay here?
Yeah.
Handle the smell, do you mean?
Yeah,
The
basically.
ambience. I'm not referring to the smell, because if she is a mermaid, she might take offense to fish being smelly.
Yes, it's just fresh air. It reminds me of home, shall we say? The smell.
So where do you come from?
Oh, out there somewhere. And a hand waves off north.
Towards the sea? Ooh.
But also,
Do
where
mermaids-
this village is, you literally, it's kind of at the entrance to one of the, I can't remember what's called. It's the Moray Firth is below, so it's a peninsula which sticks out, and there's two firths. There's the Moray Firth, which is below, and there's another one which is above, and I can't remember what it's called. But across there, you can actually cross that to another part of the land. So you don't know whether she's pointing at the sea or whether she's pointing at the land that is on the other side of the firth. But she just kind of waves vaguely in the direction.
Can we pop out as well and ask questions?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm his DPD supervisor. At the end, can we trouble you for a survey at the end of this? Just have a couple of other questions about. So this parcel is for Finn.
Yes.
Where is the Finn?
He'll be out on the boats fishing.
Out on the boats.
Yeah.
He's a fisherman.
He's a
How's
fisherman.
business at the moment?
Not good.
Okay. Cool.
Finn hasn't caught a single fish in months.
Oh no. That's no good.
How did
you guys meet?
I was walking on the beach up near the lighthouse.
Standard sort of walk?
I was investigating the lighthouse. It's new and intriguing. I've never seen what it's like before.
Fair enough. And what, you just bumped into him, Finn?
Yes, and he spirited me away.
Did he? Was he very keen that you got married? Or who proposed?
A man, Finn proposed. A woman would never propose.
Well, I don't know.
At this time, actually, you're all going to make me some dice rolls. It's going to be empathy and observation, please. Just to see if you notice anything about her demeanour.
Oh, you won't be surprised to learn at all that I've got no empathy.
Two sixes.
Yeah.
For Norton Chipperfield.
He can't sneak, but he can read people like a book.
Like a
wet, damp, smelly.
We're gonna have to. By the way, guys, we're gonna need to rustle up a parcel to give to.
I was coming to that point at some point.
We've really lent into this whole parcel thing.
I have a plan.
Oh, good, nice one, Olga.
cool. But yeah, so Norton, as you are quizzing her about meeting Finn and who proposed, you notice she gets very fidgety, and it's quite clear that she's lying to you.
Right, that he proposed. When I say about the proposal,
about the whole meeting, and especially when she says spirited away, you detect kind of that is quite clearly not what she means. Maybe that she's trying to send a message but without giving a message.
Okay. What's your name? Sorry, I need it for my records, madam.
My name is Selima.
Selima. That's an interesting name. Where's that from?
I don't know. I just made it up.
Your parents, huh?
Yeah, my mum and my dad. They're worldly travelled. They've been to many places. They have been to your land, and she looks at Algot. There's many from there, and there's many from the land of ice further north, and the land of green. I don't know if you've heard of the land of green further across.
Yeah.
Really cold.
Yes. Iceland.
We don't go further across than that. We got beaten in the land of green.
Beaten?
I lost many family in the land of green.
Were you sailors or something?
Oh, yes. We were attacked. We were sailors, yes.
Huh.
So where's this package then? Where's this package that I've just signed for?
Oh,
Algot.
I produce the Manta Ray umbrella. You see, it is from the harbor administration. They feel like that the town is in a little bit of a pickle, and they want to encourage those who are still going out there and doing the good work they are supposed to do. And at this point, it is not seen as a work of servitude, but of free will and helping out the community. And I show this face on my look as if I really struggled to learn this by heart. And now I'm very proud that I said it most definitely right. And I say, you said you don't want to have that Mr. Finn would not be happy if you took his delivery. I will put it right next to the door. Yeah, so it will be with you, but not at your person.
So you are giving her the manta ray umbrella.
Yes.
She looks at you aghast. It's like a proper look of terror of what the hell have you done, and then the face instantly changes back to a normal face. She goes, oh, thank you. I'm sure Finn will find that very useful, even though he's out on the boat at the moment, and he'll be wet when he gets back. But I'll pass him on the message as well. Now I must be getting on. I must be cooking my tea. Thank you very much. And she shuts the door on you.
Is it fish? Oh, she's gone.
Let's take a walk, maybe towards the lighthouse. Just as a general direction.
Yeah, you are.
You can share my manta ray umbrella.
Oh, thank you very much. So, Miss Giggleswick, what is your impression of this fine lady?
Not gonna lie, it kind of sounds a bit like she's a Viking. So it kind of makes me wonder if she spirited him away rather than the other way around. You know, empowerment and all that.
Yeah,
I don't think she's a mermaid, though. There's something going on, but I don't think she's a mermaid.
Well, she's got metal on. I don't know if they can change their legs, like in the film that will be made in about 100 years. Splash, and of course the film that we made in 103 years, Splash 2.
Are you referring to the fairy tale written by Hans Christian Andersen?
Yes.
It's a fine Danish work.
I think Anderson would love Tom Hanks.
So yeah, I think we can rule out mermaid. But there's something not right about her. Perhaps she is Norwegian. No, I'm joking. She may be, there's something not right. We need to speak to Finn ultimately, I think. But he's away.
So another thing, just for the back of our heads, Vaesen are often getting in trouble with technology advancing. So it's pretty strange that a Vaesen would take home in an industrialized town like this.
She was afraid of the umbrella.
It is made out of dead fish. I think mermaid is not off the table.
Oh, okay.
But so I think that she might be lured into this place by the newly built lighthouse, taking a peek at it and meeting this guy and fall in love.
By accident.
By mermaidness.
But we've all been there.
I'm going to drop a mildly subtle hint here as well. I've said this in the chat and I've said it many times. I'm running a Scottish game.
Oh yeah.
Vaesen is generally based in Norway and the Nordic countries, but I am basing it in Scotland. Norton maybe not, maybe so. But Norton and Violet might be aware of certain Scottish tales, and I'm going to leave.
Well, there are other creatures that live in the sea and can also not live in the sea. And I don't mean amphibious things.
What's that one? There's the seal people.
Yes.
What are they called? I think I've hunted a couple of them in my time.
Selkies.
Sarkies. Selkies.
That is a beautiful name.
Okay, hang on a minute.
What was their name?
One second here. Did Norton just say he had hunted Selkies?
Yeah, I mean, I've hunted everything.
So, how does Violet feel about that phrase?
She's just going to pretend that she didn't hear it.
Okay, cool. Knowing a little bit about Violet, cool.
That's
Carry
what
on.
I do. It was another lighthouse that came up. Some Selkies were messing around with it. They needed to be, you know, if your factory's got a boggart in it, I'm going to get rid of your boggart. If your mine's full of blue caps and red caps, I'm going to clear them out. That's what I do.
Fair enough.
That's why we're here, right? The fish. Something's gone wrong with the fish. We need to sort it out. It's probably something magical. We got to do it. We got to deal with it. So, look. What didn't she say her name was like Selkina or something?
Something like that.
Selena.
Yeah, so it came out as
Yes.
Selena, but as a kind of a broken Selena.
How have Selkies done? How did Selkies do in Greenland? Algot, what do you know about that? Did Selkies get beaten in Greenland?
I'm trying to recall this. Usually we would have the vast libraries of Uppsala at our disposal, but I am
bring the
not
book.
the most learned person in our society. What do I know about Selkies? Your storyteller.
Yeah, you can. I'll say this will be just general knowledge. You'll know that Selkies are generally seals, and they swim around the oceans as seals. But they do cast off their skin and become human.
Is that forever?
No, they can put their skin back on and become a seal. But they.
Oh,
they-
We
yeah.
need to check a coat
That's
rack.
if they can find their skin, though.
That is the point. A drunken guy once told me about this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So we check a coat rack.
Well, I think I say as rain is dropping on my head because there's no room beneath this umbrella for two lines. One thing we have to get clear. I am sternly against any aggressive solutions.
Yawn.
Not yawn. There are many consequences from engage in violence against Vaesen. I'm not here to critique your work, but once I visited a place that fell to such a solution, and it wasn't a nice view.
Well, what are we going to do then? We're going to let them start off with no fish?
No, there's always another solution. There's usually some sort of conflict, something that went wrong, and we can set things right. There's a way to send the Vaesen away back to the place where they belong. There are many things we could do aside of shooting.
Yeah, good.
People.
Yeah, sure. Happy to. Gas them, whatever, poison, fine.
No. I think we were on a good track back there. We were talking. We learned stuff. Well, not all of it, but we got part of the story.
Do you think wait a minute. She said about he spirited her away. Is he hidden her Selkie skin?
That would be my guess. So when we heard her moving around, she was probably looking for it.
And if we gave it back to her, she just could go back, and that might actually solve the fish problem of the town.
Well, is she eating all the fish?
No,
the whole town's worth of fish. Or she cursed? Is it a curse? Classic curse.
Maybe there's a curse which doesn't need to end with a death. And often the origin of the curse is the only person who can lift it. But also they are like protective spirits of an area. And if you take them out of their ecosystem, the whole system fails. So by bringing her back into her right place, we could do much more good to this whole town.
So, yeah, we need to find out if that is the case, if she has lost her jacket. And the whole DPD ruse is not going to work again, I don't think.
Actually, I don't even know what this is, so it wouldn't work again, yes. But I am in the company of at least one other social proficient person who might have another brilliant idea after finding a possible solution by accident.
As you're having this conversation, in the background there's a crash of thunder and a big lightning bolt streaks down the sky and hits the castle.
This castle. Should we go and have a look at the castle, guys?
It would be a fun trip. I know how missions go awry. Here's a solution, but there's a fun castle. Well, he is out there, probably.
Finn,
yes.
We're not getting in a boat and going and trying to find a fisherman on the sea. That's not going to work.
No.
Alga, come on. I know you're a rookie, but come on.
We would get sick.
But you might.
I actually already feeling a starting fever, so...
Okay. As you are having this conversation, you kind of look towards the castle and think about, do we want to head towards that castle? Is that a good place to go and look? Or do we want to go out and go and maybe possibly have a swimming lesson, as taking a boat out in this is probably going to be a very bad idea? Or considering going to the lighthouse. You notice, coming from the lighthouse, a figure walking towards you. An elderly figure, a little bit hunched up, kind of covering up from the rain, and he's heading towards you. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take a little bit of a comfort break. So we're going to take 10 minutes break to refresh, get some water, take on and think about things, and then we'll come back in 10 minutes. Okay? So I will just put us away. So see everybody again in about 10 minutes. Welcome back. We are live. Ooh, actually, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Mark, you are around. Tom, you are James. Icy has disappeared. This has not worked out the way that I thought it would be, but yeah. So we have a surprise guest. If you've just noticed, we have a new player joined us, and they're all now going to talk and laugh as I sort out the technology that I messed up. So everybody talk amongst yourselves while I resort this out. It's going to be very weird to watch.
I'm offended that I've disappeared.
Sorry, so
you're
is
still
James.
here in spirit.
James is also
I'm
disappeared.
always here in spirit.
I'm feeling incredibly famous and also twice.
Yeah,
person.
there's two of you. So now we have we now have an Icy. But
Yeah,
we don't have a James.
she-
James has disappeared.
took my place.
Yeah.
Just
So
wonderful.
Can you hear me from beyond the veil, or?
unfortunately,
Am I-
yes. Now
Imagine if James
we're
was the
all
voice
on the
of
screen
God.
now. This is I'm amazing
No,
at technology.
everything is horrible.
Yeah.
The overlay went away.
I apologize, everybody. I thought I'd set this up correctly to like just instantly come in to be amazing, and I failed miserably.
I'm watching it on the stream. I'm watching us move around. It's like one of those puzzles, you had as a kid with the tiles.
And there's always a gap that you've got to move everything into.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
If you-
love these.
you could prize them out. Basically, you could prize them out, move them around, put them in the right place.
Cool.
Yeah, we had someone at school whose way of solving
Oh!
a Rubik's Cube was just taking all the stickers off.
Yeah, Icy just
Paint.
managed to randomly jump off the screen then. That was quite amazing. Don't know how that happened. Cool. We're all there. Everyone's on now, and Tom is now his circle in the middle of the screen, off instead of up to the side.
Oh, that's nice.
So yes, welcome back everybody. I apologise about my failure of technology. We have, as I say, a new special player, a man who is walking down the road away from the lighthouse. A Mr. Mark Norman from the Folklore Podcast. So, what we'll do is I'll let you introduce your character as you walk up and meet this lot, and you recognise one of the people who is not stood under a rather strange-looking umbrella. So, Mark.
Well, I do have to say, everybody, this is rather a dreadful night for you all to be out in the. He stops and looks. Albert.
That's
Albert, that is you, isn't it?
Well, Master Elvis, I am dreadfully sorry. You are getting soaked. Would you like to take my coat?
No.
I insist, please, Master Elvis, you're getting wet and sick, and we can't have this. And I'm taking off my coat.
No, you leave your coat on, Albert, because if I remember rightly, when I last saw you in Uppsala, it was you that was sick. So you appear to have made a miraculous recovery.
Dorothea is an impressive physician.
It's evidently she is. And why are you in Scotland, and who's looking after the castle? Take your time. It's not like we're getting wet or anything.
Sorry to interrupt. Do you two know each other?
Well,
You're observant. Is he the
Norton
smart one in
Chipperfield,
this
pleased to
party?
meet you.
I'm sorry, who?
Norton Chipperfield.
Elvis Anderson. Nice to see
Elvis
you.
Elverson.
That's close enough. Yes.
Were you just in the lighthouse there, Elvis?
I was. Is that where you were heading?
We're looking for somewhere to get out of the rain.
It's the closest dry place. I would advise it.
Let's pop in then.
Especially as Albert is so poorly.
I thought that was his normal vibe, to be honest.
Well, I I got the funds for a storm lantern now, so we are not on a budget anymore. But a cover against the rain would be most welcomed. Yes, indeed. You start to trip if I may allow myself this comment, Master Elvis.
Yes. Carry on, Alga. Carry on.
So, I just will arrange our accommodations or the arrival at the lighthouse. And I start to make my way towards the lighthouse.
So I'm just going to, I nip up alongside Alga. Alga, so this is the guy that you're the butler to. Is that right?
Master Elvis, yes.
Okay.
He is working at the university in Uppsala, and he's a very, very learned man, and he knows all about the Vaesen. So I think he could help us in our investigation.
Good to know. Okay, thanks very much.
Sorry, I don't think we've been introduced.
No, I'm Violet Giggleswick.
And Violet, pleasure to meet you, Alvis.
Can I just check, is that Alvis or Elvis?
Alvis with an A.
Good, like to get names right. They're important.
Not got the hips to be an Elvis.
Alvis had left the building, but now he's going back in the building.
Yeah, so you're walking towards the tallest lighthouse in the UK. It's quite an
Hey, Alvis, do you know this is the tallest lighthouse in the UK?
Yes, indeed I did. It's quite a structure, isn't it?
Hmm.
A little phallic for my taste, but still quite a structure.
It's the thing with lighthouses, though, isn't it? They're very phallic as a thing.
It's probably unavoidable, to be honest. I mean, it's difficult to have a building that needs to penetrate so far into the sky and not look like that, really.
Hmm. So what have you been doing in here? Do I want to know?
Me? I'm working on a case. I've been asked to come over by Eileen to investigate some mermaid issues that are going on over here.
Yeah,
frightfully important, I understand, and really quite interesting.
I tell you what, something fishy is going on in this town, if you'll pardon the pun.
I didn't. No. It's quite apt. I was thinking something along similar lines. It's almost pervasive, isn't it? It's almost like you can smell it.
Mm. I smell a rat. Well, a fish. We were just chatting. We just had a chat with Finn. Obviously, you know about Finn and his new bride. We were just talking with the bride. We're thinking not mermaid, because she doesn't seem to mind metal. She's got a ring on that looks like it's made of metal. We're pretty confident in that. She seems to have a human's feet. We don't think she's mermaid, but what do you know about Selkies?
Selkies, well, they're another form of curious kind of maritime supernatural being, for want of a better term. But to be honest, I mean, the mermaid problem here is really the key. I think you'd be barking up the wrong tree looking at Selkies at the moment. To be honest, I think really we should be concentrating on mermaids. Yes,
mermaids, eh? Okay.
So, Master Elvis, I learned from the best, so I took a notebook and wrote down all the important hints that we have, like sulking around windows to look. No, not that, but has feet, wedding ring, and she was quote unquote spirited away. Also, she can't write, and I got her thumbprint in butter on this page. I think
Sorry, in
this
what?
butter.
Always with the butter, isn't it? Always with the butter.
Well, it works.
It'd be very difficult to keep mine. It's, if it warms up a bit, it's just going to melt, isn't it? Let's be honest.
You have to transport it in an outside pocket, not an inside pocket.
There's not much chance of it. Yeah.
You're the dairy expert, Albert, not me.
Well, what hints or proofs do you have that lead towards a mermaid situation?
Well, the main evidence really is the logging of all the sightings of the mermaid that Eileen has been noting down. You have met with Eileen, presumably?
No. But I have been wondering, where are you? Come on, Eileen,
She'll be back at the society.
In Edinburgh?
Yes. Yes, she is the Algot of Edinburgh. Just not like me and a woman.
Buttles.
And yes.
I don't think we can get all the way down there. Can we give her a ring, or should we just? How many sightings are we talking, Albus?
Well, I did make a note somewhere. He goes through his pockets. This is a long, drawn-out process that takes some time.
This is a real lore keeper at work.
I definitely had it.
Is it like a real lawman doing his job properly?
Oh, here we go. He pulls out a small piece of paper from amid a sheaf of other small pieces of paper. Picks off a couple of boiled sweets from the back of it. 17.
And definite mermaids?
Well, 17 sightings. I couldn't say that it was 17 different mermaids.
That's a good point.
That would be quite a mermaid problem.
There's only 2 movies, so that's a lot more sequels to be made.
But if you see one mermaid, it means that there's a lot of mermaids there.
Cockroach of the Sea.
About ready to do a musical number, I'd imagine.
Master Elvis, where do they originate from?
Mermaids?
The mermaids,
the
yes.
sea. The sea. They live under the sea. That's why they have the tails,
When a merman and a mermaid
love each other very much. Yes, that's right. Yes.
Something unspeakable happens.
I see. I'm making all these silly mistakes that would cost a investigation their dear lives. But I mean, which regions are they coming from?
Oh, from the north. They come from the north. They can't come from the south because that's land, you see. North is where the water is. They come down from the north.
While we're having this conversation about fish, I've just realised that I was meant to also run a competition at some point during this game, and I was meant to do that while I was faffing around with all the overlays. I was meant to do it at the beginning of this half. I do apologise. So I'm going to quickly jump in now and do that, and I'll remind everybody again at the end. So yeah, Free League, who have created this wonderful game for us, have given me access to some prizes. So the way to win a copy of Vaesen, the game, I have the physical book of the game and the expansion A Wicked Secret as a physical book to give away, and 3 PDFs. To be in with a chance of winning this, you need to tell me or email me. So don't put the answers in the chat or under the bottom of the YouTube video, please, because then everybody will see it, and then I'll get millions of emails. You're going to have to do your own bit of research here. There is a wonderful creature on the island of Shetland who likes to eat fish. Could you tell me and email me what that creature is called, please. It generally leaves people alone if you give it fish. It's generally quite nice. So if you can email me at thedrunkenstorytelleruk@gmail.com, I will next Friday do a very quick live stream where I will pick the winners. And then you can get in contact with me and we'll all organise about how to get you the copies of the books and stuff. So I will put that actually in the chat. So for those of you who are looking at the chat, I'm hoping that's the right command. There we go. There you go. So the question's there. What is the name of the Shetland Island creature who likes to eat fish? My email address is there. If you email me the answers next Friday, I will pick 4 winners to win copies of the game. So you've got a week to do a little bit of research. It's a really nice little creature. But other than that, so you're looking for selkies or mermaids or something in the north. So you were talking about the north there, and it just reminded me about this whole competition, Mark. So completely went out of my mind. Too busy panicking about technology. But yeah, cool. So you're talking about whether you are talking about mermaids or selkies or things at the moment. I'm guessing you are actually inside the lighthouse getting dry rather than having this conversation outside.
Yes, we are.
Cool. So are you just sitting around in the lighthouse? Are you walking around poking things, looking for things? Because remember,
always poking things.
Mm. Yeah. So do people live in this lighthouse?
It's not a living. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. So I'm going to say it's not a living lighthouse. It is an electric lighthouse, but there is a man at the top at the moment making sure the electricities are running. He's not yet noticed you downstairs having this argument about mermaids.
Mm.
That might be quite a regular occurrence for him, though.
What, people talking about mermaids in a lighthouse?
Other people might have come looking. You never know.
Mm.
It is new, and there's not much business in town right now, so I can see people peeking in. So, yeah, how about Violent getting a good peek at the place?
Mm-hmm. I'm up for that.
So, Violet, you are going to do some investigating. So this is an investigation roll. So logic and investigation.
Right.
Which is probably going to give you a lot of dice, I think, isn't
8.
it? Yeah. If you fail this, you are going to have your detective license removed.
Sorry, I've already got one.
Okay.
It's 2. I've got 3 6s.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. So they're you're poking around the place. It's really well kept. It is very new. It looks like it's kind of been built maybe in the last 5-10 years. It's got its own generator down there for the electricity. It has a nice little kettle and stove and things for you to make a nice cup of tea if you want. As you go up it, there's nothing really of anything outstanding within it, other than you can clearly see an elderly gentleman at the top looking after the works and making sure the light is working. Every now and then he's like, shouldn't have looked at the light. He's not got as many brain cells as he used to have, and he doesn't seem to realise that big, bright, flashy lights are bad for looking at straight away. But the one thing you do see is a photo on the wall of the lighthouse on the stairs as it goes up. And one of the ladies in it looks very, very familiar to you. She's on the background on the beach, staring towards the construction site of where the lighthouse is being built. So it's a photo of the lighthouse being built, and on the beach away from it is a naked lady staring at this construction site.
Is that there for the titillation of the elderly gentleman?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Oh, he can't see. He's a little bit blind at the moment now. He can't really see much. It's quite a fuzzy picture, but it because you rolled 3 6s and that's you know, and you can kind of put things together that's possibly Selena or whatever I called her. Selena, yeah, I think it was Selena. I want her name now.
It sort of corroborates her story of meeting him on the beach.
But this photo is also dated. You know that the lighthouse was constructed 5 years ago.
No, it's just the fact that she's obviously been coming back to the beach for that rather than him.
Yeah.
Mm.
But he's probably noticed a naked woman on the beach.
I think most people would notice a naked woman on a beach.
Particularly in Scotland.
It's a bit cold. Brave lady.
Master Albus, does this speak mermaid or selkie to you?
You know, it's very hard to tell, really. I mean, mermaids tend not to have legs, to be honest. This photograph seems to have legs. So I suspect not mermaid.
And could a Selkie curse a town in such a way?
Oh yes, I think if it was warranted, then certainly.
I think this Finn guy is
Bit of a wrong one.
yeah. Despite his,
I mean, look at it this way, Mr. Chipperfield. It was Chipperfield, wasn't it?
Yeah. Norton Chipperfield.
Related to the furniture manufacturers at all?
The circus folk.
Those Chipperfields. Yes. What was I saying?
You're thinking of the Chesterfields.
No, I think that's a type of cigarette, isn't it?
They did sofas and cigarettes.
I forget myself. I can be a little absent. No, I forget the word. You know. Yes. What was I saying? Oh yes. I mean, look at it this way, Mr. Chipperfield. I mean, if you met somebody and they took your skin away, you'd probably feel a little annoyed as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think cursing is probably most definitely an option. Yes.
Cursing is an option.
Again, as you were having this conversation, weirdly, another lightning strike hits the castle.
You should probably ignore that, right?
I think we should talk to the lighthouse keeper.
So go and have a look at the creepy castle.
There's a creepy castle. There's a lightning storm. We have to go there.
Yeah,
nothing could possibly go wrong. It'll be fine.
They're probably, hopefully, they got some different food at least.
As I sold this to you, the original people that I requested, like as I sold it to James and Icy, it's like nothing ever goes wrong with creepy castles. It's like just ignore the creepy castle. It's all fine. This is not Dracula.
Oh, you should have said.
You're gonna leave now. Just sign off.
Yeah.
Bye.
With a different hat.
If we head over to this castle. Has anyone got anything? I think we should put the umbrellas down for a start. It looks dangerous with all this lightning. I think that is a danger for us.
Well, not for Alga. He hasn't got an umbrella anymore.
Oh yeah, Alga, you go. Tell us what happened.
Sure.
No.
I do have to ask. Is Norton walking around with his rifle?
Yeah, I keep it
really
with me all
long
the time.
Metal
with a sight
rod.
Oh, okay. It's just in the backpack. It's mostly wood and a big bit of metal. Yeah, okay. Let's stay in this big pointy building that keeps not getting struck by lightning. electric. Look, right. Out of interest, this Finn guy, was he local?
Was he local?
Was he local?
Yes, Finn was a local.
Finn was a local.
I think the barman said something about him being local. Yeah,
I think he did. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Finn is a local. Yes, basically. You know.
Right. Okay. I wasn't sure if he was maybe something fishy, literally and figuratively.
Certainly smells that way, probably.
As everything here does, except the wet dog. So.
Oh, the lighthouse doesn't. The lighthouse is perfectly normal. It doesn't smell of fish. It smells of probably fresh paint, maybe.
It's got that new lighthouse smell.
Yeah.
The popular new lighthouse smell.
You can buy it in little cutouts and stick it on your horse.
Little lighthouse.
Make your horse smell of a lighthouse as it takes you along. Fresh new lighthouse smell.
Good. Let's make a transition.
True. Yeah, wander over.
So you're going to wander over to the creepy castle and not speak to the deaf blind guy.
We could talk to him about the naked woman, but I don't think we're going to want to hear what he has to say about it.
I don't really know anything about your case, so I can't really offer you any advice at this point.
I've written everything down. I hand you my notebook.
It's very wet, this notebook.
And buttery.
And strangely slippery. But I'll read it nonetheless.
Great.
What does the notebook contain, Algot?
I think it's more fun to ask Mark what it does contain.
2/3 of it appears to be a shopping list. And then there are some notes about there's something about deliveries. And then there's a large thumbprint on the next page. And then there's a couple of notes about Finn. And then on the last page at the bottom, there's just a very hastily scribbled note that says, "Remember, get more butter."
That's on every page.
It's a pre-written reminder every 5 pages.
But there's probably sufficient information in there that it will bring me up to speed, at least superficially, on the case so far.
Have I got a sight on my rifle? Could I have a peek at the castle from here?
Let me have a look.
Oh, I've got binoculars.
Yeah, we do have binoculars.
Should we look at the castle and see if it's worth going over?
I'm going to say there's no sight on the rifle because I don't know my gun history well enough to say whether sights existed at this time.
I think they did, yeah.
I should know. My family, one of the guys from my family name, invented rifling. Not invented it, but worked out how to rifle.
Really?
James Whitworth. Very big in Manchester. Because he also did the screw nut thing, but then he left England, went to America, and worked out how to rifle a gun properly. So he did a good thing in England.
It was between 1835 and 1840.
There we go. But no, you're not going to have a rifle. You're not going to have a sight. If you probably did, it'd probably kind of be one of those like circus rifles that you aim it and the gun just kind of goes the wrong way. But we do have a pair of binoculars with our detective.
Yeah, let's have a look. Do you want to have a look at the...
Yeah.
What do the binoculars do? It gives you... I've not put the bonus on there. I'm going to say it gives you +2 to vigilance, which is kind of your... We've got observation. I'll give you... That's a really weird bonus. Why would you get extra to vigilance and not observation?
Observation is more like social stuff.
Oh, it's empathy. Yeah. So vigilance
Yeah.
would be more the visual stuff. So yeah.
No, I have no empathy, so
Yes. So we're going to do a logic vigilance roll, and you're going to get an extra 2 dice to this because you have your binoculars. I've not written that on the sheet, so I do apologise. But the binoculars give you an extra 2 dice.
So hang on, so that was 5 for the logic, and then what was the other one?
Vigilance, which
That'd be
is
6. Oh, bloody hell, 8.
Yep.
Right. No. Well, it looks like my binoculars must have been steamed up because I can't see anything.
Oh no.
I've got a little bit of vigilance and that. Can I just have a squint? Can I just squint?
You can give yourself a squint. The castle is, if I remember off the top of my head, about 7 miles away. So it'd be a very
Can I let
good
Norton
squint.
borrow my binoculars as long as I get them back?
Yes, certainly. I'll let this happen.
Let's have a squiz. So what's that? So I get +2,
Yeah,
and then it's logic and vigilance. Yep. Okay, 5, 7 then.
Are these going to be like the worst pair of binoculars in the world?
I got 1. They are knackered. But you can have
a
them back.
1 is a success. So you have managed to find the castle, even though the lighthouse was not shining upon it. You can see it is a ruined castle. It looks like it's probably been ruined for quite some time, and it's a little bit odd from what you can see from the ruins. The corner kind of closest to you appears to be a square tower, the remains of a square tower, and the corner furthest away from you that you can kind of make out is a circular tower. So it looks like they've built 2 towers out to 2 different shapes for some reason. There's no roof on it. It is very much a ruin. And as you look, and the light from the lighthouse skims across the ruins, a very, very small glint flashes in the circular tower, as if light has shone off something in the tower. And then another strike of lightning hits the castle, and you go blind for like 30 seconds, and you have those horrible streaks in your eyes.
Yeah.
As you've just looked at the light.
We should probably ignore that, right? No, let's go. 7 miles. It's only 7 miles.
You've just walked 5 miles to get to the lighthouse, so.
I'm hitting my step count today then.
It's also now probably about 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. So it's going to take you a good 2.5 hours to walk there, so you'll be there around midnight.
What could go wrong?
Yeah.
Best time to arrive at a ruined castle that's being struck by lightning. Experience.
Come on, let's go. Oh.
No, it's all right. I just wanted to say, if Master Elvis says it's safe to go there, then we should go.
Yeah, let's play a game while we go, see how many more times it gets struck by lightning whilst we walk there.
Wonderful.
4.
I'm using my special talent, which is called video cut and editing, and blimp, we are in front of the castle.
Yeah, we're not going to spend 2.5 hours of you. This is not Lord of the Rings.
I was just going to keep saying, "Oh, we're there yet?" every 5 seconds anyway.
Who brought the child along?
Where is the dog?
Well, I think we did leave him.
You left him in the Happy Pilchard.
In the Happy Pilchard, but
yeah. Has he come running after you? Has he come to find
you? What he
you?
lacks in eyes, if I whistle, he'll come to me, my friend.
Yeah.
So I do my special whistle that I can't actually do in real life.
Yeah, and I'm not sure it'd be great down a microphone. Blow everybody's speakers who's listening to this on headphones. And
I can't do it, but imagine that.
It sounds amazing in my head.
Sweet.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Woof. You hear.
Here he comes, Lord Oro.
You hear this kind of slop as it pounds through the mud and the grass of the fields, and he just runs up and jumps on you and just covers you in even more mud because you're still half covered in mud from when you fell over.
Yes.
And now you've got
Let's
dog slobber
not
on you as well.
remind people about that. Yes.
But yeah, so as we say, jump cut to the castle. How many people have been annoyed by Violet going, "Are we nearly there yet?"
Alvis wasn't paying attention.
I answered every single time.
Accurately.
7.9 miles. 7.5 miles. Cool.
7.89 miles. 7.88.
I think I miscounted. I'm just running back to that tree and count again.
Cool. So as you get closer to the castle, it's not that big. It's a square building, or it's got a square footing. It would just what we would now consider just a large mansion size of house. It's actually been brought by an architect and turned into a real house now. So if you look at the pictures of Boulogne Castle, you can see the ruins and what it has become now. An architect basically rebuilt an entire castle. So so it's a square footing. It is very much a ruin. Occasionally you'll hear a little bit of a rock fall. There's moss and things growing up the side of it, and it looks very slick and dark and dank in the rain. You can clearly see the outline of the square tower on the corner closest to you. You see the ruins of the circular tower and some steps kind of going up the inside of the tower. There's no roof at all. There's barely any walls left of it. The most prominent part is the square tower, is what you can see as you walk up towards it.
Right. I saw something glint. If it turns out to have been a Tunnocks wrapper, I'm getting the next carriage out of here. Let's go and look at the circular tower, I reckon, gang.
I agree.
I might just get my rifle ready.
We won't find any brigands in here. And as I said, shooting Vaesen doesn't bring good fortune.
Yeah, but there could just be human wrongings as well.
I've just also realised, James, when you were looking, you probably got another 2 dice to your looking through the binoculars, because you've got Bloodhound as a skill, which gives you an extra 2 dice to.
Ooh.
But you passed anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay, great.
So I was just looking at what to make you roll as dice as you are clambering into the castle over wet, slippy, moss-covered rocks.
Now then, do we want to go in stealthily?
I have my storm lantern.
Ooh.
Nice. Very nice. Is that... Oh, God. Is that powered by battery or buttery? Oh,
it is
mains.
My storm lantern is powered by oil. It's not fish oil.
God.
It's also not butter.
I don't know. Are we going to sneak up, or are we going to go in?
I'll say you've seen as you were walking up. I'll say you'll have checked every now and then with the binoculars, and you'll have seen it. It got struck a few more times by lightning, because it's like it's the. I can't believe it's not butter. Yeah, we can't believe it's not butter in your storm lantern.
Should we roll to see how many times it got struck by lightning to see who wins the prize for
Oh yeah.
Ooh, yes.
guessing how many times it would be struck by lightning?
I will do this. I will get myself a D6. I hope that I've got a D6 lying around here somewhere. I've got lots of D10s and 20s, but no D6s.
It was struck by lightning 17 times.
No, I want all four of you to pick a number between 1 and 4. One and 6.
I'm going for
5.
I might actually have to change this because I don't have any. No, we're going to say between 1 and 10 because I don't have any D6s around here.
I'm still going to say 5.
still said 4.
Oh, right. I have a D10. My blood dice. So we've got a 4 from Norton, a 5 from Violet. What is Elvis going to?
3.
3 and
Magical 7.
Magical 7. Right. This is where we see my amazing dice rolling skills. All of you are wrong. I rolled a 2. But Elvis is the closest. So Elvis wins the competition as to whatever prize he gets.
Kudos.
Gets to return with the kudos of beating the English. But yeah, you'll have noticed from all these lightning strikes and things that doesn't appear to be any movement around the castle.
You said there was some light in the round tower.
Something glinting. Yeah.
Glinting.
Yeah, every time the lightning struck, you noticed a very, very small little glint of light reflecting off something.
Should we go
Yes.
to where that was?
Yes.
It's probably halfway up the steps of the circular tower. Unfortunately, there's some of the steps are missing as well, so it will be a little bit of a scrabble, shall we say, to get up there.
Shall I try? Because I've got decent agility.
Sounds
Got
great.
5
I could
total.
I could lift you up. I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got nothing for agility, and I'm guessing I'm probably also wearing a skirt. So
Up to you. You can wear trousers if you want.
When
when's
in
this
Rome.
set?
It's 1860 something.
We also have fantasy DPD, so you can wear trousers if you
wear
want
trousers
to.
if you want.
I
For
might have
those-
worn a kilt to blend in.
Well, let's hope not.
in this win, everybody would have seen everything. Just for those people who are watching and unaware of the game is generally set in like the 1860s in Scandinavia. But it does quite clearly state within it, you don't have to play with the society of the Victorians and their views on things. It allows you. It's a fantasy world based upon real life, so you can take whatever you want from it. If you want to wear trousers, go ahead, wear trousers, and just play the game how you want to play it. Free League are very good at making sure these things are very clear, that it's open to everybody, and you can do it how you want to do it.
I still wear trousers then.
Probably a lot easier.
I still have no agility on the sheet though, so
It's probably a lot easier walking in trousers than in about a million petticoats in this weather, as they just get heavier and drag you down, and you just become like shorter and shorter as you walk.
I was 7 feet tall earlier.
I was the tallest one in the group. Yeah, so Norton is going to go up and have Elgert lift you up. So this is going to be a helping roll. I'm I've forgotten how this works.
I just he just adds a die
Yeah.
for me, declaring,
That's it.
helping, and explaining how.
It's
I'm
just
doing
one
this.
dice, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes they add one
okay.
dice, sometimes they add two, depending on the game. Oh, kitty!
Elvis is sat there like a super villain with Dido.
Yeah.
I do apologise. My cat has arrived as usual.
Oh, I like Dido.
No, we fully accept animal interruptions in any game of any kind.
It's fine. She'll disappear into the virtual background. Yeah. Rural Gothic regulars will know this.
So the missing head was quite
It was worrying.
upsetting.
Let's
Yes.
say the least.
Right then.
Right, so
So
yes,
I've
it's going to
got
be agility, basically.
6 altogether. I think I've got 6 with the help of Algot.
So your agility, so physique is 4, agility is 1, plus 1 more from Algot. Yeah.
Okay. That's the first 4. No 6s. Uh-oh. And no 6s. I hope I don't twist my ankle.
Okay, so obviously you don't really want to fall here, do you? You don't want to hurt yourself.
Mm.
Unfortunately, you are going to have to hurt yourself here.
Mm.
So what we can do is we have this thing called conditions. So in most games like D&D and Pathfinder and all those kind of games, you'll take wounds and you'll have a wound stat. Here we don't. We have something called conditions, and they're physical or mental conditions to kind of portray how the characters are feeling.
Mm.
So we have the physical conditions of exhausted, battered, wounded, and broken. The mental conditions are angry, frightened, hopeless, and broken. You will generally work through exhausted, battered, and wounded, and then take the broken condition, and then if you take one more, you disappear from the story in some way, shape, or form, whether that's through death or through you just going, yeah, no, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm leaving. And when you re-roll something, so here you may want to re-roll your dice to try and get that success, you get to choose what condition you take. But I can also tell you what condition to take, which would make sense here to be wounded because you have slipped and maybe twisted your ankle.
Mm.
But this also means you are going to lose a dice on any physical roll because you are now injured. So instead of rolling 6 dice, you'd be rolling 5 dice.
Okay.
But whether you try it or not, you're still going to take this wounded condition and have a twisted ankle.
Whether I try to re-roll?
Yeah, because I'm going
Could
to say
anything worse happen if I re-roll?
You just won't get up there.
Well,
I would if you fail it, you just won't. I won't give you another condition.
Okay. So I'm wounded, whatever.
Yeah.
I may as well re-roll.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, re-roll. But I've got one less.
Yes.
Is that the help one, or is that?
It will be off your number. So you will have 4 dice instead of 5, and then the 5th dice will be from.
Okay.
Helga.
I see. Are you going to help me again, Helga?
Of course.
Give me another bunk.
Yes. I'm very sorry that this shouldn't have happened.
It's okay, rookie.
If anybody else wants to help, you can. I will let you all just kind of get underneath him and try and throw him up if you want.
Like a human pyramid.
Yeah, just for comedy value. You're all learning to be like cheerleaders and building. You're not generally meant to have more than one person help in the game, but
okay.
If you
Elvis is not helping. He's examining the moss on the wall.
I'll help.
Thanks.
You can have an extra dice, then you can go back up to 6.
Okay, let's have another go at this. First 4. No 6s. Second 2. 1 6.
Yes.
That'll clearly be mine.
Yeah, thanks. That was very important.
Yeah. So Violet and Algot slowly manage to push you, but you kind of scrabbling on the wet rocks, and you almost slip, and you feel like you're going back again, and just grab it just at the last point.
Stop looking at my kill.
Your dog, which I've forgotten the name of.
Lord Oro.
Lord Oro, as you are scrabbling over, jumps over your back and runs up the stairs. Uses you as a staircase.
Classic Oro.
Just kind of sat at the top of the staircase, looking at you, head on the side, quizzically. And as you get up onto the stairs, you notice where Lord Oro is sat, and sat next to him is a pile of rubble that looks like it might have something underneath it. You can see the glinting of what is possibly the edge of a chest.
Nothing up here, guys. Right. I think there's something here. We've got some sort of metal chest. Can I lift them up, or shall I just clear it and move it myself?
Up to you.
Does anyone want to come up, or shall I try and get it to you?
Can you pass it down?
I've got to move some rocks first.
They're not very big.
I really did twist my ankle.
Yeah,
But fine. I'll do it.
No, there's no need for this. I can take care of the works of the body. It's no problem. I'm trying to climb up there as well.
Oh, come on. I'll give you a hand up.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. Whew, 2 successes.
Yeah, so you are now up there as well. You kind of spryly get up, and you seem to have no issue with it at all.
Almost like you should have volunteered in the first place, is it?
I didn't want to stand in the way of the huntsmen and explorers. I'm a mere butler.
You just wanted to look at my kill.
I do have some recommendations regarding washing.
I hear butlers are good cleanser.
Rocks.
Yes, all the rocks. And we finally tapped into the special abilities of Algot. Physical work, getting
you did send me a sheet.
Yes.
I've forgotten what it was.
Surprisingly, physique as well as force are the main skills and attributes of a butler.
Is that because of all the pencil pushing?
All the ironing.
I am keeping a castle together alone.
This is why you can actually jump up the stairs really easily. Half the castle in Uppsala is missing steps as well. So
it is made of missing steps. I'm happy it's not as rainy as here. So
yeah, your castle has a roof.
At some parts, yes. We are moving away the rocks.
Yep. As you move away the rocks, it's not a big chest. It's quite clearly, I don't know, maybe, what's that? About 0.5 meter by 20 centimeters. It's easy enough for a single person to pick up, but it is padlocked. There's a clear padlock on the outside.
If we only had some sort of private investigator who might have the necessary tools.
I've got a lockpick. Can I throw it up?
I think it'd be easier if you use it. If you pass it down.
Yes, we will reach it down.
Yeah, it's easy enough just to kind of lower it down at the edge of the stairs. Yeah, so do you want to try and lockpick Miss Violet?
What do I need for that one?
So this is its precision and stealth. And you're going to get +2, so you'll be rolling. What's your precision? 3?
Should be 6 in total, I think.
4, 5, 6. Yes, 6 dice. And again,
I'm catching on.
Cool. And again, just needing 6s.
Oh, damn it. I haven't got any.
The lock remains shut.
I'll shoot it off.
Okay. If you want to.
I've got a revolver, which might be a little bit less messy than a rifle.
Whatever the noise is for uncocking something.
Yeah, so we got damage to range. Oh, yeah, I don't think the revolver you can. The rifle, no, the rifle you can't shoot close range, so you'd actually have to kind of go.
Over there and just show off.
Just show off.
Put it on your head. No. Put it on your head. No, you do it. You sort it, Violet.
So what's that going to be then?
I'm going this. So this will be a ranged combat. So it's ranged combat precision, and because it's the revolver, you've got a bonus of +2. So I think this is actually going to be 7 dice this time.
Put it on the floor rather than the table, so it doesn't keep bouncing off. So.
The things we do to get the dice working.
Oh man, the highest I got was a 5.
You cock your revolver. You aim carefully at the box, and you shoot, and it goes click as it has got wet during the walk, and it is a misfire. You can take a condition. You can take a mental condition like angry if you want, because it's not worked. You failed twice at this and re-roll your dice.
Yeah, go on. What's that do?
Basically, it's like a mental wound. But the thing with precision, I think precision can't. Hang on, Precision is a physical trait. So you're not actually going to lose any dice on this. But if you ever have to do something like empathy or logic, you're going to be a -1 dice on those. But
so I just do 7 again then?
Yeah, just 7 again.
I'm going to go back to just using the table.
Is this a padlock or is it a keyhole lock?
It's a padlock which would need a key to get into.
I only asked because Alvis has an axe.
Yeah, I got a 6.
Well, Alvis has an axe, and as you say, I have an axe. Violet shoots the lock off.
I would have mentioned it earlier, but I only just remembered where I put my character sheet because I haven't played this character for about 2 years.
Yeah, I got a 6 or so, yeah. Shooting the padlock off.
You've shot the padlock off, and Alvis walks up and goes, I got an axe?
And my axe.
Yeah, and so there is no padlock now on there. There's also a bit of a splintered hole where the whole thing has just kind of been ripped off.
We're going to open it like that bit in Pulp Fiction where it just glows gold.
Is it full of butter? I don't know why butter's a reference, but I'm going with that.
A stalk flies out. I know it's not butter, but still. Yeah. So I'm guessing you're going to open the chest.
Yeah.
And yeah, you open the chest, and inside the chest is what is quite clearly. Again, it smells fishy. It's silky smooth fur.
Is it a silky skin?
And it is very clearly a skin of a seal. So yeah, what you would know of as a Selkie skin. It's a very upset Selkie. It appears to have 2 handholds in the back of it.
That guy. I remember that story.
Yes. A very nice Selkie, but a bit of an arsehole of a man.
He's ruined her jacket.
Yeah, it really has.
Can we now confirm it's not a mermaid, but a Selkie, Master Elvis?
Oh, well, this is most definitely a Selkie skin. Yes.
So we bring it back to Celine.
Selena. Yeah, we're going to call her Selena. I can't remember what the name was.
I tried to pronounce it the way she did.
That's very respectful.
A Lilina. A Lilina. bit like Shaggy.
And she can leave if she wants to, right? Right, Master Elvis?
Sorry, say that again.
If we brought this one back to the fine lady we met, the three of us met earlier.
Yes, I had no idea who you were talking about, you see.
It was in my notes.
Oh, is that what it said?
I think it was covered in butter.
Yes. If you take it back to her, this is Finn's wife, for want of a better term, isn't it? Yes. So yes, if you take it back to her, then she will be able to return to the sea. But I suspect that Finn will not be best pleased.
Well, no, who cares what he thinks?
We got a rifle and a wet gun. We could definitely use it on Finn. Unless he's called Finn because he's...
Yes.
Fish. Finn.
The look on your face then, James, was amazing. Just thinking, light bulb.
That was just the lighthouse.
So yes, to answer your question, Albert, yes.
Right.
Well, should we be nice and release her?
Yes.
Let's go. What happens if we put on the jacket?
You'll smell of fish.
Will it keep the rain off?
Will all of you smell of fish?
Only if we all put the jacket on.
Mm.
I don't think it'll be big enough.
I don't think it's respectful to the owner.
I would be, yeah. This is a weird, interesting sideline of folklore. What happens if somebody who is related to a Selkie puts on a Selkie skin?
Ooh. I'm actually just thinking,
It doesn't normally come up.
No, I was just thinking all the times when like people have been like, oh, you know, the Selkies have then gone and had children, but there's never been any, and then one of their kids found it and for a laugh put it on.
Yeah, it doesn't normally come up in the stories.
Oh wow, there's a plot hole and a half, isn't there?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, well, I would try it, but that's just me. I have no empathy, so.
So is Violet going to try and put on the Selkie skin?
I don't know. Part of it really wants to. Yeah, why not?
Okay. I will let you describe what happens because of your dark secret.
I'm actually going to say that nothing happens.
Okay.
So I try it on and it just kind of hangs limp. With
You
a
now
couple of
smell
random marks in the back. Yeah, just smelling.
smelling
It's
of
nice
fish
and warm, but it just, smells of fish.
Yeah. It
Which
probably
is a
keeps you quite
shame.
dry as well now as well. So
Mhm.
I'm constantly staring at Violet, mouth open, head shaking.
Me too, because I'm like, that was my idea.
Okay, let's move on. Or, let's move on.
okay.
So we're taking it back to it then.
Oh, I think so, yes.
How many miles is that? Because we walked 7 miles from the lighthouse,
miles
but it
there.
was 5 miles from there to her
Yeah, so
house.
you've walked 13 miles so far.
And then another 7 back. Just under 7.
So it's not
just under.
500 yet.
I would walk 500 miles just to bring this coat back.
Well, technically, the Selkie myth comes from like north of Scotland, and this place is it's in the south of Scotland. So you might have to walk 500 miles. Even though
I would
Scotland's
walk
not that
500 more.
I'll take the high road.
big. It's turning into murder on the dance floor again, Tom, isn't it? Joke from a other game. I should have had Fiona. Would have been brilliant in this game, I think. Oh well, next time. Fiona is a regular on this channel, and she's an improv artist. And we'll just take it off the rails. Right, so I'm also looking at the time. It is 10:30 in the UK. So we will start to wrap this up. So yeah, it's jump cut. Dink. You are back in the village of Portmahomack. I think that was the name of it. Are you going to go straight to her house, Selena's house?
I would say yes, just in the hope that Finn hasn't come back yet.
Yeah, as you.
I would advise Violet, if you're going to go to the house, probably taking that off first.
Yeah, that would be wise. I'll wrap it up nicely for her. Then we really do have a parcel to deliver.
Yeah, so it's. I'm gonna. You've been awake a very long time now, and you are still all very sodden through to the bone. You are very cold, very windswept. And it is, probably about 5 o'clock in the morning. The sun is beginning to rise, and you can see the boats on the sea, and they're coming in. There are no new boats yet in the harbour, from what you remember.
Let's run. Let's do it quick. Get it to her. And can I sidle up to Alga on the way?
Mm-hmm.
What were you shaking your head about, mate? What was that?
I don't think that it is proper behavior to put on skin of another person.
You were literally wandering around with a manta ray umbrella 5 minutes ago, mate.
That was a fish, not a
But
person.
A seal. It's a seal.
We talked to this woman.
Okay, fair enough. Different people have different beliefs.
Yeah, I think you'll just have to agree to disagree. I mean, obviously Norton gives it the seal of approval, but Alga does not. So it's just the way it is.
In the distance, you can hear the screeching barks of seals in the sea. You notice that one of the boats gets turned over at the peak of the barking of the seals.
Oh, do you think that's Finn? Do you think that's Finn?
Let's be quick about this.
Yeah. Is she going to go and save him, though? Has she been Stockholm syndromed?
I don't think that there's the need for her to save him. He's
Finn.
the one with the fishing equipment.
Huh?
She would also need to put her skin on as well.
I think it'll be a bit late by the time she gets there.
Let's let her make her own choice, I guess.
Knock, knock.
Delivery again. So we forgot something earlier.
Delivery at 5 o'clock in the morning from the same people? I don't believe you this time.
Yeah, it's terrible working conditions. I've had to urinate in an earthenware jar in my carriage.
You have an earthenware jar? You must be rich.
It's full of urine.
You are definitely rich then. I just have a window.
It does sound like you're starting to make a witch bottle, but never mind.
That's his side hustle.
Well, we got something seal related here that needs to be given to its proper owner.
She flings the door open at this and sees you standing there with the seal skin. You've found it! Oh, thank you so much! She just grabs it from you and just starts to undress in front of you. I can't be grateful enough. I've been looking for this for months. Finn has been keeping me here, trapped. I've been unable to leave. My family have been going crazy. They're the ones who have been causing all the trouble and stopping the fishing boats.
Mm-hmm.
You have saved me. She's removing layer upon layer of petticoat.
You're welcome. The name Finn, that's just a name. He's not some sort of sea monster, right?
Not as far as I'm aware. He's just a really nasty man.
So he is a monster, but not a sea monster.
He's a human monster. He's one of the ones we don't like. If you see him, yes, please. I've got no problem with that. If I ever see him on the boats as well, I will definitely be having a munch.
Well, maybe we could end this story without murdering anybody. It would be really great. Don't you have anything else, like putting him onto a lone island or stuff like this?
The last person I did that to, I've got bloody hand marks in my back. Have you not seen these things? They asked me to kind of take them back as well. I was stupid that time. I'm not doing it again.
I've heard that story, and yeah, I thought you were very hard done by.
I was also taken. I was taken for a ride. Actually, no, I took them for a ride, but whatever. Yeah, and now she just kind of walks down to the beach naked, carrying her skin, and saying, "Thank you very much. I'll make sure that everybody knows that you helped me, and you'll get free fish for life, and not the stinky stuff that they've got here."
Ooh, fresh fish, that'd be nice. Thanks. What was your name? Selena. It was Selena.
Selena.
I think I've been pronouncing your name wrong.
I don't know how to say my name in human speak. In seal speak, it's Then you see the because you all have the sight, you actually see the transformation as she puts on the skin, kind of puts it over her shoulders, and she shrinks down and hunkers down and metamorphoses into a seal, who turns around, screech, bark, weird noise. People call it a bark, but it's more of a kind of a weird howling screech, I find, at you, and flops off into the sea, away, and she swims away. You hear echoing cries from the other seals in the sea, welcoming her back, and they swim. You notice the disturbance in the waters. They all kind of swim together, and they swim out into the open sea. And we are going to leave it there, I feel, just because it is now 10:40-ish. Went on a little bit longer than I thought, because I should always plan for lots of people just deliberating and talking and just having fun, and I don't. And I always try to think of more things to throw into the game, and I just need to be more simple with things. But yeah, cool. So that is Vaesen based in Scotland with some amazing folklore people. So thank you very much, everybody. I hope you had fun. So just as a quick reminder to everybody who's watching, we have a competition going where you can win a copy of the game. There's a physical copy of the book and a physical copy of the supplement, A Wicked Secret, which will come together. And we have 3 runners-up who will get a PDF copy of it. The question is in the chat. It is, what is the name of the Shetland Isles creature who likes to eat fish? Please email me the answers. Don't leave the answers in the chat or on the YouTube video, please. Don't spoil it for people. There's the links and everything. So cool. What did everybody think? I know this has been James and Icy's first kind of go at role playing, and also probably first. Actually, no, James, you stream quite regularly with Loremen, don't you? So I've also just noticed I've put Loremenpod on the screen as well. It should be Loremenpod.
Loremen, yes.
But there's only one of you, so it's technically Loreman.
We are legion, for we are many.
Yeah. But yeah, so what did I know, Mark? You've played this a lot with Tom before, so. But I see, James. What did you think? Did you enjoy yourselves?
Yeah, that was great fun. Thanks. Really enjoyed that.
Cool.
It was a lot less complicated than I thought it was going to be.
I tried to say that to you every time we spoke about this. It's really easy, this game. It's not D&D. There's not millions of numbers.
It's designed to be a storytelling based game.
Yeah.
Most of Free League's games are designed around storytelling, which makes them much easier to play if you're not used to it, I think. I would say that Algot is slightly different in the original game to how he was on this. There is slightly less butter in the original. The whole butter thing came about because we played a game which was very much based around fairy folklore, and Alvis suggested that leaving butter as an offering was a good idea, and it just kind of escalated from there. Really.
It was also the only thing that we had the money for with our resources roll at the beginning of the adventure, so we had no funding for this mystery, and it was like, well, you got nothing but a big lump of butter, and that's how everything started.
Yeah, so there's so much fun you can have with this game. They currently it's only based in the Scandic regions, but I do know, and a friend of mine, someone I know through the RPG community, is actually writing for a new supplement based on kind of the ideas and folklore of England, and I'm guessing maybe Scotland and Ireland as well, I hope. So they are looking to expand the game, so it's not always just going to be Vaesen and the Nordic folklore stuff. So,
will it have a mongoose?
I was hoping you weren't going to remind me of this. I don't know. I kind of hope it does have Jeff the Mongoose, because then at least I don't have to write it and run it for you. So yes, the first time me and Mark met was actually the same time me and Tom met, was the folklore panel for Virtual HorrorCon, and I kind of signed myself up to running a Vaesen game based off Jeff the Mongoose, and I don't know how that's going to happen. I don't know how do you do a spirit, a ghostal mongoose? I don't know. It might work. We'll see.
Here's the
I think he'd be more at home in Solemn Vale.
I think so. Yeah, I think so too. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. You could probably do it with Chronicles of Darkness as well, quite easily. One of those lines. Not Hunter. I can't remember. Then the one which has ghosts in it now. There's one with ghosts in it. But anyway, cool. So what we'll do now, we will wrap this stream up. So for people who've never been on the stream with me before, which is everyone except Tom, I go around and we just kind of promote ourselves, who we are, where you can find us, what we do, and things. So we'll go around as you are on the order on the screen in front of me. So we'll start with Mark Norman. Who are you and where can people find you?
So I am the creator and host of the Folklore Podcast, and also the curator of the Folklore Library and Archive. You can see the website for the Folklore Podcast. The address is over my left shoulder, or right shoulder as you look at the screen, possibly. How does that work? I don't know, it's there on the screen. You can see it. And you can also go to folklorelibrary.com to see the work of the Folklore Library and Archive in preserving folklore materials. And if you're interested in Vaesen, then there is an episode of the Folklore Podcast in season 5 with an interview with the creator of the original Vaesen book, Johan Egerkrantz, who also worked very closely with Free League on the development of this game as well. And there is an interview. Yes, absolutely.
He did all the artwork. It's amazing.
He is the designer of all of the artwork. So there's an interview on my podcast with Johan talking about his work and the development of the game from his perspective.
Cool. Yeah, and if you don't know who Mark is, where have you been if you're a folklore fan? And we'll go next round. Underneath Mark, we have the fabulous Icy. So, who are you, and where can people find you?
I've been Icy Sedgwick. I run the Fabulous Folklore with Icy podcast, which is pretty much on like every platform. And if you just put in Fabulous Folklore, that's me. Matches the fabulous hat. You can also find. I'm just going to wear this forever now. I hope everyone realizes that.
Yeah, I've seen the Twitter conversations going on.
You can't wear it at the next Rural Gothic because you're wearing something else.
That's true. So yeah, so I also help curate Rural Gothic with Mark, which is sort of a series of folk horror conferences with our comrade Howard David Ingham, who's not here. And I promise to do the next one in costume as Velma from Scooby-Doo. So yeah, because it's not that hard. It's really not for me anyway.
And this really upsets me because I can't watch it live. I've got things going on that weekend, so I'm going to have to watch it on catch up.
There'll be tons of photos of it. I wouldn't worry. But yeah, and then you can find me and all my gubbins at icysedgwick.com. And obviously, how you spell my surname is on the screen. Don't put a second E in it.
Yeah. She gets very upset with you if you spell her name wrong. I speak from experience.
Well, the trouble is, like, I can't appear if you get my name wrong. So, if you're trying to summon us, you've got to use the right one.
It's like the guy who summons lemons. James is looking very confused at that.
Cursive font.
Cursive font, yeah. Tries to write demons, but it looks like a cursive L. What we'll do next is, because he's not on the screen, but we'll do it anyway because he's kind of in the middle. Mr. Tom Murr, our bodiless voice in the void. Who are you and where can people find you? I've just told everyone who you are.
Yes, there's not much left to say. I am on Twitter. My Twitter handle is on the screen at Tom Murr, and then the number 2. I am from time to time, and I need to return to there on the Onyx Path Twitch stream. So I'm also on their Discord as well, on some other amazing Discords like Carrion Comfort Studios or Gehenna Gaming.
We need to get you over to Darker Days Radio at some point.
Sure. I am a traveling storyteller, so to say. I'm trying to get my voice into all kinds of gaming platforms for RPGs, mostly horror, fairy, and folklore based. And yeah, I'm going to be in some places in the near future again. And I will return to this place pretty soonish.
Yes, I will mention that soon as well. So.
And I just wanted to say thank you to these amazing people who I've met so far only on Twitter, and they don't even know it. I'm just reading your tweets. So it was a great delight, and it was very great to be able to join you. Thank you.
Cool. And last but not least, James. I'm going
Hello.
to modify it so it's correct. There we go.
Oh, thank you.
You are
yeah. I'm James Shakeshaft from the Loremen podcast. We try and be funny about folklore, basically. So very similar to what I've been trying to do all evening. Just derail each other, telling stories about folklore by taking the mickey out of each other, but in a lovely, nice way. And yeah, we do. So we've got a podcast which comes out every Thursday. If you search Lawmen Podcast in the places where you get podcasts, which is the internet, that's where you'll find it. And we do a live stream every few weeks. I think we've got one coming up this Thursday on our Twitch, which I was trying to get up, why I kept playing music by accident. Sorry about that. It's twitch.tv/Loremenpod, and it's also on our YouTube as well. So have a look for that.
Cool.
Thanks for having me. That was really fun.
Cool. Thank you for coming. I'm so happy to have you all here. Do we want to score this? Do we think we need to do a Loremenpod score? I'll leave it
Well,
up
I'd say namings, unintentional fish puns, or intentional fish pun on Finn. That really threw me at the end. Selena? Not too sure about that. But there were some lovely names in there. Violet Giggleswick, Algot, and Elvis leaving and re-entering the buildings. It's got a strong 4 for me.
Good. Cool.
Supernatural's a 3, I think. Not enough ghosts, and it was too wet for dust. For my tastes. Yeah, and I don't know what the other categories would be.
Dairy products.
Oh yes, utterly butterly. Give that a 4.
Nice. Oh, I feel privileged to have been scored.
Oh, we did do an episode called from series 3, episode 48, the Sea Beasts of Shetland, and we talked about selkies amongst other Scottish beasties.
If everybody goes and listens to that episode, they might find the answer to the competition in it.
Maybe.
It's worth listening to try and find out.
I'd do that anyway. Yeah, I will do that.
I would say
I have an episode on selkies, but I know that I don't mention the answer, so you can't cheat by listening to it.
No,
but you should still listen.
You should still listen to Icy. The answer can actually be found in, unfortunately, our absent friend. So Sean Esther, the Celtic Myths and Legends podcast, actually has an episode on the creature. So go listen to all her stuff. Make her feel good and better about herself, because she's
and
not
follow
very
her
well
on TikTok as well.
Oh yeah.
Follow her on TikTok. She's amazing.
She's a legend on that.
Yes. And we shall round out the whole thing saying, I am David, I am the drunken storyteller, I have a folklore podcast that has about 3 listeners. So
but they're good listeners.
They are. They're not me on every platform just downloading it myself on all the different platforms. Yeah, where I just basically have a few drinks and butcher folklore, I think is the term. I also run games here. Usually about every 2 weeks, I run something, or I get other people in to run games for me. They're generally horror RPGs. The next one that I think is going to appear in the plan at the moment is actually going to involve some people in this game. I think I'm going to be taking a little bit of a break because I'm going to go on holiday and have a break. But we're going to play some Alien. We're going to play Destroyer of Worlds. It's a mini campaign of Alien RPG, also done by Free League. So it's going to be cool. It's very, very scary. But Tom is going to be playing. Mark, you are going to be playing, are you?
Yes, I hope so.
Cool. And maybe some other people might be joining in as well on that one. We've also got, we're going to continue our Vampire the Masquerade Vampire Dystopian game at some point, where we have a vampire running around painting motivational posters on people in a dystopian future as they get ripped apart by werewolves. It's all a bit sideways, that one. And we'll do, we've got another game of our kids on tour. I can't remember what I called it.
Bikes?
Kids on, well, it's going to be kids on bikes, but
flying carpets.
Yeah, it's going to be a Sheffield-based horror story. It'll be the second part to a game that we played of Fiasco a couple of weeks ago. So we've got a couple of things planned coming up on here. You can also go find me over on the Darker Days Radio podcast, where we talk about horror-themed RPGs, and that's that. Also, as I said at the beginning, and I'm going to say again now, I am a very unfit man and of not a very light stature, and I am training to run the London Marathon, so please do check out NOMAN is an Island and their campaign to stop HPV and stop the 5% of cancers caused by that. So go check them out, and if you want to donate a cup of coffee, go to the Just Giving link, and that'll all go to help stop cancer, because that's a good thing to do. And I think that is it for it, unless anybody has anything else they want to say. Deathly silence. Cool. Right. Say goodbye, everybody. Bye.
Cheerio.
Bye, everybody.